Right, there we go.
You okay there, Simon?
Twice, and it's crashed twice, so yeah, let's go.
Also, are you far away from your mic?
That better?
Yeah, you've been like that for a while, but I just thought you may have been on your phone like Harlan
Ah.
was.
No, I folded my mic up, forgetting that I actually had it down for a reason.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
So, hello everybody, welcome to Crabby D&D. I'm here with my players. I don't know, what's your names?
God
Right
knows.
here. Sudz isn't here at the moment. Harlan's here. Sam isn't. Simon is. Will isn't. Infernal is, and Jamie is. So we got a 4 out of 7. It's fine. Sam's not going to be here for a while, obviously, because he's potentially switching characters. We don't know. Will, I think his internet's just cut out, and Sudz is probably asleep, and he's going to kick himself later when he goes, "My alarm didn't go off." Rah, 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 rah. If you see this, Sudz, don't worry about it. You keep kicking yourself about it, and I'm gonna do it for you. All right. Sorry about my throat. I've got a little bit of a sniffle coming on, so yeah.
Oh, don't give it to me.
I'll pass it to you through a virus. Don't worry. Send it over the internet.
It's right, my internet probably crashed, so I won't get it.
You won't have time to download it.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Well, my internet is really bad lately. It'll take a long time before I get it.
Maybe the internet's got a cold.
Yeah,
Alright, usual
maybe.
announcements. Thanks to Snosa for the artwork coming through. Should be getting some more ones coming through for a different campaign that I'll be running off stream, but we'll have to see. Thanks to Tabletop Audio for the free service you provide for music and constantly updating it with some new soundtracks which I listen to while just running around and playing other games. Any battle maps like this made on Dungeon Bear Studio, found that on Steam, and any maps like this are made in incarnate.com, which you can also go and find on the internets. Seeing how much that cuts off in comparison to my model. Yeah, it's fine. Alright. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand. Because we are 4 people down and this is going to be mostly a hiring session unless the party finishes up and leaves. This may be a boring session. I apologize. But I wouldn't necessarily say go away because there's a chance they'll finish and then they'll just leave. So, last we left our adventurers, they were busy hiring people. And they continue to do so. I ain't got anything else to say other than that. So,
Business.
yes, it's business time.
Business.
Yes, I also believe that I have to roll twice more. I need 2 more rolls for the success of the tavern. So, are there 2
whoever's actually in game, go
yeah.
right ahead.
Is there anybody actually in tabletop at the moment?
I am. What die do you want rolling?
Okay, you can each roll the black d20 here for me, please. I'd like you to roll each of it once. So, Jamie, you first.
Maybe I shouldn't have done it.
Okay. No, that's fine. It's just a matter of I have to.
1.
Did I delete my notes? Oh no, here they are. So week.
1 is
week-
the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Ba-dum bum bum shooby doo doo.
Okay, so 4. During the process of you hiring new staff and everything that's going on, there's a little bit of a flop in the market. People aren't buying as much. It seems your shop, even though it's well stocked, people don't want to buy anything for this time around. There seems to be something either about the stock or the fact that it's not interesting enough. There isn't as much variety. There was the initial burst, and then it died down to its usual amount. And
Oh, don't worry. They're saving up money for the Dawn Festival.
and then the inn isn't as useful as it's nearing the end of the festival, so people are starting to go home. However, you do still make a roughly regular amount on your regular tavern income, so not too bad there. And Infernal? And I will mark down that I will need to add these shortly. Infernal, are you there?
I'm not in game.
Okay. Simon, as you're in game, you can roll. 14. You get a little bit more of a positive result. as during the last little bit, everybody seems to be taking up the last bit of the celebration. The inn, again, is basically empty. Nobody wants to be there because it's just about to hit the end of the festive period. However, there are a lot of people coming in for general drinks and celebrating over a successful festival. After all, they missed out on the Harvest Festival quite badly.
Yes. Not to make you do more dice rolls, but definitely to make you do more dice rolls. Observatory time, Chris. I think those are weekly, right?
Yes, they are, and it's a D100 on my part.
Yeah.
Okay, believe the okay, it's a 10% chance. Okay, well that's a 1 on a D100, so
Yes. Wait, no, is that good or bad, Chris?
that means there's gonna be a random weather event that's gonna occur.
Oh my god.
Oh no, prepare for the tornado, boy.
Okay, and that's a 4. Okay.
Perfect. We're gonna die.
So this is actually going to be interesting. The observatory picks up on one thing which is actually very good to note. The mines have had the front of them collapse as a landslide has sealed off the entrance and the miners are trapped on the inside. There is currently relief work to excavate them, and they seem to be attempting to do so as quick as possible to get things back up and running, and so the miners don't run out of oxygen. On your part, I will say that this just occurs. That in the effort to do this, you inform the mine. There's an information passed to the miners that they can leave through a portion of the cave, and the gnolls will meet them on the other side. The gnolls, who have allied with Adamantia on a neutral standpoint, but would prefer to communicate through you rather than Hurricane, are willing to accept the miners, but they will be immediately escorting them back home.
Okay, excellent. That's
so
good.
The miners will be leaving. However, a landslide does cover up the mine, and then the second week is 47, no event.
Ag. So, question: when does meteorite? What do you need to roll for meteorites to happen, Chris?
What the hell?
Meteorite storm can randomly occur during droughts and hollow nights.
Okay. That's a creepy name, but okay.
Yeah.
Who gave him an observatory? This is not good.
I gave me a note.
I'll let you know what this is. The observatory means that he can see the events happening, rather than me just rolling and then randomly happening near you. Because not all of them occur near you. Some of them occur across maps, such as because the weather table just is a 1 in 10 chance of a random weather event occurring once a week. If you're on the move and on the journey, then that chance increases to a 1 in 8 when rolling 2d4s. So the 1 in 8 is obviously something like a 1 in 16, I think. So 1 in 16 chance of actually getting a weather event. So the chance increases effectively, because the rolls are made daily rather than weekly at that point. So yeah. Basically.
So what happens on a hollow night then? Is that
a hollow night basically means that the moon and the stars don't produce any light, so it becomes pitch black, and dark vision doesn't help you. Yours would because it's Devil's Sight.
Yeah.
But no one else will gain the benefit of dark vision, meaning the populace will be blind.
Cool.
But observatory still works because Abbott's magic or something is what I'm going with.
No, the observatory means you can see it coming, and it will give you a date when it will occur. It only occurs once, but during Hollow Nights, that's also a time when tricky creatures such as demons and undead try and get into the material plane to wreak havoc or to set a foothold.
Yeah, understand.
Okay, so that's fun.
Okay, so I'm going to be busy then on that when that happens. So I'm the only one who can do anything.
Yeah, it will be the party is like, oh, we're going to stay in the tavern, and just like, oh, we've lit some candles, we can see some stuff, and then it's like, Queglod, where's Queglod? And Queglod's out in the street going, Eldritch Blast, and just smiting undead in the street.
Queglod, I need you to be my eyes.
Although
actually, you know what? I'll just put on Spirit Guardians, and you just stand on my shoulders.
I actually just realised I rolled the wrong dice, but yeah,
we
fine.
could do that.
I mean, feel free to roll again if you like.
I've rolled again. Would you prefer the second result?
Is it better or worse?
Was this on the 42 or 47 or whatever?
No, this is on the actual hit because I'm supposed to roll 2d8, not 2d6 for the result of the weather event.
Okay.
Do you
I'll
want-
take.
Okay.
I want it.
yeah.
I'll let the party decide.
Yeah,
though.
no, that's fine.
Yes, I
More-
do also
more
like
chaos
it.
So
sounds-
instead of it being
Yeah, why
a landslide,
Mhm.
so nothing
Okay.
happens with the mine. It's perfectly fine. Instead, the entirety of that week you are affected by wild magic. All of
Oh,
you.
happy days.
Huh.
However, we've already done that bit of the time skip, so we'll say some shenanigans happen. Queglod probably turns into a potted plant. Infernal
Wait.
probably accidentally kills 3 citizens.
No, Chris, I'm getting up the wild magic table. Roll for me, Chris. Where is it?
38.
What does 38 do? 38. Oh,
Oh.
that's 38. One
One.
D6 faces within 60 feet of you and are frightened of you.
Okay.
They vanish after 1 minute.
Okay, so 6 flumps just appear, are absolutely petrified of your party, and run away and disappear.
Well, that was adorable.
Could have been a
Do
lot
it again.
worse.
Do it again.
No. Alright, anyway, to the hiring process, which is what this session's about. So,
Perfect.
yes,
We have fun here.
that's kind of the point. I'm going to use this one because I like this one. They recently, actually, you know, I'm just going to put on the theme which Liam hates because of its name.
Is it Liam is a bellend?
Yeah.
It's called Love Theme.
Oh.
I can see why he would hate that.
Yeah, he's more just into the... He just gets right into it, he doesn't like love. Just straight into it. Anyway. So... You have hired your new guard, you have a healing team, the shop hands, the housekeeper, the new cook, which I'll do with... I'll finish that with Sudz another time, because he's important for that one.
Is he though?
He kind of is. The...
Angus, what do you think of him? Holds up a thumbs up sign or a thumbs down sign.
And the bar hands. Just an out of 10. So yeah. So yeah, what would you like to start with? You have healing team, shop hand, housekeeper, or bar hand.
I feel like healing team is a good one to start with.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You will need to hire 2 of the 4 members here.
Okay.
Unless you wish to save it and you wish to go, there's somebody else we can hire from around town that you know. Remember, that's always an option. If you know someone in town, you can always try and hire them.
Do we know any healers?
No.
Simon?
No, I don't think so.
Infernal?
I don't know.
Why
Okay. I don't know.
So the DM
Okay,
doesn't hear you.
Exactly.
Okay, don't tell the DM.
Okay. We think it's probably best if we listen to the people that you've found for us first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. Okay, so out of the listing, I'll give you their basic information first. You have Samantha. She is an orc, a full-blooded orc, I might add.
Oh hell yes, healer orc, I am all here for
She
this.
is 22 years old. She comes from Kalinko. Her profession is currently she is a nomad. And her experience is she has experience in botany and on the front lines.
Combat healer, I like it.
You've got Stephen Matsil. He is human. He is 33 years old. He lives in Adamanthia, which means you won't have to give him a room. His current profession is he is unemployed. However, his experience is he has a degree in health and anatomy.
I mean, we do need a human to round out the diversity numbers.
Yeah, and it's cheap boarding because he doesn't have to stay with us.
There is Lisa Zan. She is also human. She is 40 years old, lives in Adamanthia. Her current profession is just parent, but otherwise unemployed. And her experience is worked in a herbalism shop before the attack on Adamanthia. Suggesting that the herbalism shop was destroyed during the attack during the Harvesters Festival. And finally, Maze Keln. She is a tabaxi. She is 30 years old. She lives in Adamanthia. She is a apprentice in her art, which would be healing in this case. And other than that, her experience is she worked under an apprentice but is now looking for a proper job.
Okay, you know what? They all sound interesting in their own ways.
Mm.
I feel like there might be a little bit of tension with the person whose shop got destroyed in the whole...
It wasn't their shop, they just worked there.
Oh, well, the shop where they worked got destroyed in the Harvest Festival, because ostensibly we were partially blamed for that. We do actually need to check in on the Church of Light. I think we should do that this session.
If you finish up, you can do
Yeah,
that.
that might not be a bad idea, actually. 'cause-
The Church of what?
Just follow along with us. You'll catch on context.
Right, cool.
So with the healing team, with the first person coming in, if you have any initial plans, let me know. There's a knock on the door as the four of them are sent in simultaneously. Rather than coming one by one this time, they're all being sent in at the same time. And they are all there before you. So, what do you wish to do?
Are you guys cool with me taking over here?
Yeah,
Go
if
for it,
you
I've
have an
got
idea.
pineapple juice all over the place.
What?
I found a tin of pineapples in my cupboard.
Sorry. Greetings, everyone. Well, as I'm sure you're all aware, you're here to try out for being the part of our healing team here. First of all, I want to ask, do any of you know each other?
Looking around, Stephen and Lisa look at each other. And Stephen says, I know who Lisa is. I knew she went to the same job opportunities fair, same as me.
Oh, well, good to know. Well, that's good teamwork. Could be part of the work here. So
Zuvan
No.
clears his throat at the back. I know who Maze is. She's a regular customer.
well,
Maze,
Zuvan, your
Maze nods.
if you have any opinions, feel free to make them known when we're deciding. Well, first of all, we want to hear about your unique selling point, as it were. Why do you think you'll be a good fit here? And what your prior experience is in your own words.
Okay. Beginning at the front, you have Samantha. She's rather small for a full orc. However, she wears what looks to be simple furs and otherwise simple clothing, a little bit tattered from the road. Her tusks are smaller than most other orcs, but her muscles and other body physique does not suffer the problem in height to muscle ratio. As you try and maintain and look at her to ask her opinion, you find that her gaze is slightly kind of, I'm not going to say altered, it's a little bit lost, like she's finding it difficult to hold the conversation.
I'll let her go for the moment, but
Yeah.
we might have to talk about that later.
I've worked on the front lines. I'm good at working under pressure when it comes down to healing individuals, which might be needed in a fighting pit, especially if people's lives are in danger in a particularly damaging situation. So I'll be able to act quickly and make the correct judgment without needing to panic or take precious seconds to think about what should occur.
Right. Good to know. Obviously, timeliness and being able to work under pressure is key when you're in a dangerous situation. Your prior experience with being on the front lines is certainly appreciated. Do you have any reservations about working here that you may want to bring up at this point in time? We want to make sure that we're being as helpful as possible to ensure you get the best experience whilst working with us.
I may ask some of your staff to go and if there's anything I particularly need. I won't be leaving the building. Obviously, where I'd be living here, because I don't have a house, I'd probably ask some of your others who know the city better to go outside and grab things.
We can certainly provide for that. Zuvan, is that all right?
Oh, that's fine. Usually I get either one of the guards or myself or some of the other members of staff to go and get some stuff. Or it's brought here via the contractors if it's a big enough stock take.
Right. Yes, that's certainly something we can provide for. Right. Very well. Thank you very much. You have now. If you'd like me to hurt myself and then have you try and heal me, that is one option. What are your thoughts on that?
What?
That can work. Yes. But it might be not meaning to intrude on this, but it might be better if you have me turn around so I don't see what injury you have. That way it's more of an unknown where the pain is.
That is a very good idea. Give her extra points for that, I whisper to everyone else.
Make a
good critical thinking skills. Yes, Chris, please make me a stealth check.
6! Minus
I
1.
did not stealth
5! And also disadvantage for heavy armor. Okay, they've reset something. I'm scared.
It's like, dun, dun. Ow, my arm!
No, to clarify, the stealth check. I thought the stealth check was
the stealth check was to whisper the extra points.
Yeah. Give her extra points for that good critical thinking skill. But I'm sort of stage whispering by accident. To clarify, I'm assuming we moved them into a separate waiting room, and then we've moved them into a different room because we don't want them seeing each other.
Yeah, individual interviews. You'd probably be a matter of you'd have them all sit in the healing team area, and you'd have the discussion in the fighting pit.
Yeah,
which is in your basement.
Yes. That's not shady at all. Oh, just come on down into our basement. Yes. Follow us.
It's where the fighting
pit is. One by one.
Well, no. If they're the healing team, they all have to go down at the same time because the healing team base is in your basement already.
Yeah, I know. We're just teasing. But yes. Now let's okay. Turn around, please. Queglod, do your worst.
Oh boy.
You know what? Just keep hitting me until something sticks.
Part of me just wants to turn around and say, "Do you want to borrow my axe?"
Trying to take your armor off, or just gonna fire out its blast until one of them hits? What'd you say, Infernal? What did you say?
Just fire Eldritch Blast at me until one of them actually connects.
Okay.
I'm not taking my armor off.
I'm gonna say advantage on the attack roll because it's a stationary target.
And also, I'm not exactly trying to resist.
Yeah.
I'm not actually trying to resist it. I'm just shoot me. We're just going to assume that
it's reverse dodge. She's jumping into the attacks rather than jumping away from them.
Okay.
Yeah,
they've changed something about.
Go?
Yeah, the dice have changed.
Oh, wow.
You can tell, can't you?
Yeah,
they're a lot faster. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly modify. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly check the settings on that. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, permissions haven't been changed. Server max players. No, not.
Hey Sasha, you want me to try out?
Look, you can all try as much as you like. Nothing you do is going to kill me.
Okay, alright, in that case, challenge accepted. So.
No,
Alright.
not you.
Would you like to voluntarily fail my save here?
What are you casting at me?
God.
Are you willing to fail the save?
What are you casting?
That comes later. Are you willing to fail the save?
Okay.
Oh,
Look.
trial by fire for the first aid
Fine,
healing
yes,
team.
I'm willing to fail the save.
Okay, I think they've just made the R stronger, so you can hit it twice rather than 3 times, and that way it won't zoom around.
Okay.
I mean, that was a roll. Like,
Yeah,
what if you hit it once? Because that's spinning madly.
Like, I mean, that's still like a decent. Oh,
Apparently, just click it once.
Okay, so
apparently you get 2
hit-
crits.
Hit it twice, and that seems to be best,
yeah.
rather than 3 now. If anybody spam clicks this, it's just gonna go mad.
Just wait till I'm
Do just go berserk. Oh, God.
Oh, if only Behold was here, he'd love spinning the dice like that. Sorry, Infernal.
Sometimes we can still hear his dice rolls.
Why did I get a 1 and 2 on advantage?
Remember that time we got a 1 and a 1?
Yes, I do.
I remember.
Alright.
Good times.
So yeah, the first Eldritch Blast you fire hits against Sasha's armor, it just ricochets off.
Oh shit! Boing, doing, doing,
There's
doing, doing.
There's a pew! It just bounces off. And another one. Or the next one. Okay. There we go. That hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits. With the recent.
I should hope. Yeah.
Yeah. You fire out the Eldritch Blast. It strikes against Sasha. Do you have a preferable body type or body area that would hit?
I'm going to move the back of my. I'm going to somehow manage to maneuver the back of my leg into it.
Okay.
The reasoning for this is it's not going to be the most obvious place to have been hurt.
Okay. Well, Queglod has fancy Eldritch Blast. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So as the Eldritch Blast flies forward, it as you go to turn almost to try and heel kick it because you're doing some karate dances while you're at it.
Hee-yah!
The Eldritch Blast hits you in the back of your calf as you go slightly spinning on the ground.
Oh, that breakdancing. That was a mistake.
Okay. You get hit and take damage. What do you do?
I get back up and say, all right. I'd like you to find where I have been healed as quickly as where I've been hurt as quickly as you can, and heal it as quickly as you can.
Okay.
She jumps provided this doesn't cost you anything, because we don't want you spending anything on just a test or anything.
She jumps into the fire's pit. She rushes over to you. She immediately looks over your armor, sees that there's a few scratches on the front, and evaluates that before she kind of picks up your arms, lifts them up, then drops them back down, all while maintaining concentration on your face. She grabs your shoulders and presses you down. As you do, you feel the pain in your calf and you squint slightly. She takes that as a notification, and she immediately kind of walks around behind you and checks the back where your plating is and sees where the wound is.
Okay.
She then proceeds to place her hand on it and tells you, "Get down on your front. I need to apply pressure to this."
I'll follow. I'm not
Yeah.
injured enough to not need to be moved. I'm assuming she's strong enough to move people if need be. So
Yeah. She's a full orc.
she's an orc.
Yeah. So, and she basically goes, "This would be when I would apply the medical herbs to for the appropriate wound. Stitch it up, apply a splint, that kind of thing."
Okay, very good. What would be your exact what do you think caused this wound specifically, and how would you go? And what would be your what would be your immediate thoughts in terms of how to treat it best?
Well, The wound seems to have been thin enough to be some form of puncture, but it's got the impact as if it were being hit by a hammer. This would suggest to me some kind of magic which focuses more on push and pull, so kinetic force.
Very good.
If-
Very good.
For applying to this kind of wound, it is probably most likely going to bruise first, after being bandaged up or taken care of. There's a very low chance of infection, and if there were a broken bone, there would be a little bit more of an obvious sign. Probably just high bruising, so I'd probably say just a bandage and some ice.
Excellent. I'm assuming with my really fucking high medicine, I'm like going, yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
That would be a correct manner of dealing with it.
Excellent. Now, I'm just going to heal this up now, and I just cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
4, I'm healed. Let's go!
Alright.
Oh, liking this. We have 4 interviews to do.
Oh boy.
Okay, now Chris, we're going to run the same thing each time. Just tell us how they do on the final bit.
Can I try my luck as well?
You can try yours next time. Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
next person up is Stephen Matsill.
Oh, hello, Stephen. I repeat the same questions I asked previously about their unique selling point, etc., etc.
Well, I finished my degree in health anatomy, so I know my way around the general humanoid body, provided all is as it should be. I understand the correct procedures for dealing with anything, and if anything's too out of my hands, I would not be afraid to call for help.
Always good. We appreciate a bit of. We don't appreciate too much of an ego to ask for help here. It's always important to get help when you need it. We don't want anyone suffering due to someone's self-confidence that may turn into arrogance. Now, tell me a little bit about. I forgot what I've asked already. Do you have any particular do you have any particular wants out of this job in particular, and do you have any reservations about working here that we can perhaps allay?
Well, not particularly. It's mostly just I'm unemployed at the moment and looking for work. The only thing would be that I would want to take some time off to go and spend some time with my family over the holidays.
That's fine. We've got a similar agreement with some of our people. Though obviously, if there's some sort of emergency occurs, owing to the fact that we may need your expertise at some point, would be all right to at least contact you using magic.
Yes, of course.
To at least get your opinion on things if need be.
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
Oh, excellent. Good to know. Now, I'm going to be attacked, and you're going to tell me what happened to me and how you deal with it. Turn around, please.
He turns around and faces the other way. Alright. Infernal, what you doing?
Do me, Infernal.
You can send me the message, or you can get him to make a saving throw, then tell me what spell.
No, I'm purposely failing the saving throw, Chris.
Okay.
I need you to let me hit you with my weapon first.
Okay, Chris, can you tell me how bad... Okay. Infernal, if this is my items, or if it's going to actually kill me, or
It's not gonna kill you.
Unless you're undead, it can't kill you.
Are you going to, like, permanently fuck me up, though?
That'd be nice. I mean,
Maybe.
oh.
Depends what...
Well, I don't know. Are you resistant to necrotic?
No, I'm not.
That's fine. I don't think it'll kill you. It doesn't do enough.
I don't think. I love it.
Okay, can I just ask a quick question? Are you going to use fucking major rupture on me?
Oh, that's...
Maybe. Alright.
I love it.
Do it. Go ahead.
Oh
Yeah,
I
this is
grappled him
fair.
with my
What
weapon.
happened? Oh, I took some damage from an Eldritch Blast. Next guy. Oh, my arm's fallen off.
No. You're not allowed to get rid of limbs. You're allowed to attack me in the torso where I'm strongest.
Oh, okay. Alright.
There might be some inside damage, but it's fine. I grapple him with my weapon first.
Okay, doing a single point of damage because that's fair. It's only a single point of damage because I know that Major Rupture could actually kill Sasha.
It
It would
won't.
be difficult, but if you roll max damage, it will do half the damage in the next round of combat and kill Sasha.
Oh shit! No, I didn't know it did that. Fuck that. No. I can't take that. I thought it was only the
It's
one-time
fine.
damage.
It's
How
only
much HP do
60.
you have?
It's only 60-10, so the maximum damage would be 90. It's fine.
No, Major Rupture is 10d8.
No, Chris.
Oh no, that's
It's
Major Net.
11d8.
Oh yeah, 11d8. No. All right, yeah, because you're using your ability.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you know what? No, I'm not gonna take a Major Rupture Infernal. That's not happening.
You
Alright,
you
take a blight then.
Okay, I'll take a blight.
the moment.
98, Chris.
All right, go ahead and roll me the 98.
Oh,
I can't.
Oh, you're not on tabletop.
No, I can't. I like too much. I can't
Which
hear it.
which
Oh,
which
right.
ones? Alright, you've gone.
All right,
Jeez.
50 points of necrotic damage. Sasha,
This is very inconvenient.
as you're nicked by the giant spear, there's a little bit of pain, a little bit of drawing of blood. Like, oh, this isn't so bad. and then this chain attaches to your torso. There's a moment when you're like, oh, I've seen this before. Oh no. As you feel a surge of necrotic corruption travel into your torso, and you feel a large amount of your veins just burst and split as you are in agony. You roll on the floor, and he immediately turns around and sees this. I'm gonna roll.
But Chris, I'm not even bloodied.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not. Oh, right. What, with 50
Yeah,
points?
he has 100 and something.
I have 109 HP now, Chris.
All right, yeah. I forgot. So
I'm
you're not
un-
even
I'm
bloodied. Never mind. You're
unkillable.
not rolling on the floor. You're standing there, covered in
Ow.
blood, as he just looks over, like, what's going on? And you just look up at him and go, treat me. He's gonna climb
Yo,
down.
Madison man.
He's gonna climb down into the pit, and he's gonna just look you over, and he's gonna immediately say, "We need to get this armor off. This is gonna obstruct you too much. You're
Oh,
probably
fine.
bleeding from the inside."
Nah, I'm good.
Begins taking off the front plate, just looks at your messed up shirt underneath where you've just covered in blood. It's just, he goes, you've been hit with a fairly high amount of magical power.
Yes, that's correct. Okay,
Okay.
can we assume that I have a spell prepared that I would have access to at 5th level, Chris? Can we just assume, even if I haven't got it written in my character sheet, can we assume that I have a certain,
Yeah, that's fine.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you leveled up partway through, and it's not really relevant, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, basically, we're just doing this so that I can be healed for the next one. Also, we're going back to doing the Eldritch Blast because this is a bit ridiculous.
I want to
Yeah.
hit him.
Okay, fine. You can hit me, but only if I'm not
But just
wearing
like-
armor because I don't trust you.
But just like hit him normally.
Yeah.
Don't,
Hit him
don't
no-
like.
Hit him normally. Crit. Uh-oh.
I'll go gentle.
Excuse me.
Right. So to clarify, I'm talking about either heal or major knit.
Yeah.
Whichever one will work best.
So, as he looks at you, looks you over and goes, I wouldn't be able to do enough here to heal this.
Would you be able to stabilize me?
If you were unconscious, then yeah, probably. I could patch up the wounds where you wouldn't be bleeding out anymore, but that would be about it.
Well, that's something at least. As long as we make sure people don't die. I mean, that's pretty good.
How quickly could you do that?
Yes, time is of the essence. I could be dying if I wasn't me.
With this kind of a wound, I think most people would be dead.
Yes, I know. It's quite funny, isn't it?
I can make him unconscious for you if you want to show us.
I'd rather...
Yeah, no, fuck off, bro.
I'd say if I wasn't already attending to somebody in the healing team or healing room, then I could probably get to them in maybe 6 to 12 seconds.
Oh, well, 12 seconds.
That's good. Yes, obviously for an injury like this, it's less
Probably more
important to be
vital
able-
than most.
It's less important to be able to fully restore it than just to make sure that you can.
Also, would this
And
be the
not
kind of
die.
thing
Keep
we'd
them
be
up.
dealing with in the fighting pit?
I
Not
should
not
hope not.
likely. This, admittedly, this is quite extreme.
A bit. So long as it's not like this, I think I can handle it.
Okay, good to know. But remember, as long as you can stabilize someone and stop them from dying, we have many other ways of healing people. That is fine. For example, I just cast what is it? Is heal the one that does 70 hit points?
Yeah, it is.
I just do that and I'm instantly healed to full. See, all good.
Okay.
And I want to make them think, what do you need us for?
I mean, he's got a little bit of that. He understands though. You're busy doing adventuring while he's busy
Yes.
healing the people who come into your tavern.
Hopefully you won't be facing anything like that regularly, but I want to know that if it were to occur, you'd be able to stop that person from dying. We're fine with people getting injured. Like I mean, we can restore a couple limbs a week if we need to, but we can't exactly deal with but we can't fix dead, not without a lot of cost, and we don't like spending money on people.
That's fair. Okay. All right then. I can work that in.
Good to know. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you. I did appreciate. Quick question: What type of magical energy do you think caused that?
I'd have to say, from the damage that it's done, the fact that your armor was still intact, I'd say it was probably necrotic.
You are correct. Good to know.
Also,
Now.
the wound is smouldering and it still has residue energy.
Not anymore.
And
Just shoved it with all the life energy, just like bleh. Yeah, good to know. It's always good to be able to recognize these things, as there are certain curses and the like that can be thrown around that are quite unpleasant.
yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you did very well. That was a bit extreme, I know, but well, we've got to make sure people are prepared for the worst.
Yes.
Lying through my teeth. We had like the other one do an Eldritch Blast. That's hilarious.
Eldritch
you
Blast,
suck
how
in
much
fun.
damage? Like 13 or 14. Uses Blight, 50 points necrotic damage. I'm not even bloody.
Look.
See, I should have used Major Rupture.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that would have been able to kill me like easily.
Major Rupture would have done what? 11
11 d8, then
and then
5
half
d8.
of that next turn.
Okay,
It's,
so
it's half
as
of the
long as-
first damage, so you don't roll for the second damage. So if you
Oh,
rolled
okay.
if you rolled max, it would have been 88, then 44 next turn. So there is actually a chance that it could have killed
Yeah,
you.
the fact that it's only a chance is still pretty hilarious. Yeah, you're not allowed to use that on me, Infernal. That's bad.
Just so everybody
we
is
use that on
aware,
other
if you-
people.
for those of you
Oh,
who have
it's
picked
just
up
really
Major
bad.
Knit, because Major Knit can restore limbs, I've set it so that it has a MGP cost of 100 GP, but it doesn't consume it.
But it doesn't consume.
Doesn't consume it. It's a 100 GP needle and golden thread. Because Greater Restoration has a MGP cost of 25 powdered gold, and
Yeah,
it does
that
the same
makes
thing,
sense.
or powdered diamond. So it means that it's 4 times the cost, but it doesn't consume it.
Fair dues.
Anyway,
I'll probably need to. I'll let.
Yeah,
we'll need
I
to
can't
get
learn
it
that.
set.
I'll re-remind you
Sadly.
guys. I'll re-remind you guys at the end or during break.
Hmm.
Anyway, so that is that one done. As Stephen Matsil goes back. Oh, I didn't give you his description, did I? Average male. He has a little bit of shoulders to him, so broad shoulders. Short brown hair, with what looks to be a few small plaits that seem to have been tied with small ribbons at the back of his head. He has green eyes, slightly rounded face. Otherwise, the rest of what he wears is professional to the application of what would need to do.
Okay. Well, I think he was very professional, but he did seem to lose his cool a bit when something quite surprising happened. So,
50 points of damage. Give him some credit.
I know,
It's
I'll
a little
give-
more than surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
To be fair, if the common citizen was hit with that, they'd be dead, and he wouldn't be able to stabilize them. They'd be outright dead.
They'd be like a smear on the ground.
That's very true.
Commons have like
Literally.
4.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah, it's
kind
like
of forgot that this was supposed to be a non-magical pit.
yeah, it's just like, oh, what happened to you? And just looks at the pile of blood on the ground. Oh, I see.
Look, if they can heal magic, they can heal non-magic. That's how it works.
It's true. Okay, so next up is Lisa. Lisa Zan. You see what looks
Lisa.
to be a middle-aged woman. She wears simple clothing. Just what looks to be a general dress of some kind. She has neck-length blonde hair, which she lets hang free at the back of her head. She also has brown eyes, which are covered by a set of glasses, which are made from a simple steel ring and glass inset. She's a little thin around the waist, but otherwise not malnourished. It's more just a fitness thing. She also openly wears a wedding ring on her left hand.
All right. Well, hello, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you feeling today?
Good. Yes. A little bit nervous about the interview, but
Oh, I understand. Okay. Well, first things first. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
well, I'm a mother of 3. I live here in Adamanthia.
Hmm.
I've lived here all my life. And my husband is a businessman. Works for one of the local flower shops or something.
Oh, good to know.
Businessman working for a flower shop.
Or something.
Yes. No, seriously, like she doesn't know what her husband does. What the fuck?
Yeah. Or something. How committed is she to this?
Okay, should we just say you said the word florist?
Yes, that's the one.
There we go.
A businessman.
Oh, a florist. How delightful.
Yeah, door-to-door flower salesman. Have you never heard of them?
Yes. No, he's one of those people that goes around in rom-coms and offers roses to people on dates. Makes a surprising amount of money.
I could see that. Anyway.
Yeah, good to know. Now, are you sure you'd be all right working here with? Did you say 3 children?
Yes, they are all. They're all old enough now to partially take care of themselves. The eldest is 19. He's very responsible. He is a student from the work that he's doing. He doesn't tell me what he studies. Says it's something secretive, some form of project. And my 2 younger daughters, one's 15.
We
and
need
the
to
other one's
find that. We need to find that eldest son and find out what he's doing.
His secret project, yeah. So what's his name?
No. We know her last name. We can find him.
Okay.
We're looking for a
Well,
Mr. Zan.
Mr. Zan, age 19.
Not the florist.
Not a florist.
Student. Working on secret project.
I swear to God, if we hire the mother of a necromancer, I'm going to be so pissed. Alternatively, we could end up like having a really powerful moment where we're getting attacked by this necromancer, and then she comes out and she's like, "Gerald, what are you doing?" It's like, oh shit.
Oh,
Um,
Mom!
Mom!
You're grounded.
You ruined everything, Mom! Oh, we're just giving Chris ideas.
When the mother
Anyway.
is more powerful than a level 20 necromancer.
You know it, like,
Mother
come on.
knows best.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to give you...
Anyway.
He's not a
So-
necromancer. He's a very naughty boy.
Anyway.
Right.
Perfect.
As long as
So
we're not
yes.
going to be not going to be inconveniencing you. We don't like.
Oh, no, it's
We-
fine. The work here would mostly be during the opening hours, and with my husband coming back from work probably fairly early, I'd have maybe 2 hours before I'd come here for working.
Right.
So I'd have a good amount of time with family still, and
Right.
I'm sure he can take care of the kids.
Of course. To clarify, Lisa was the one who worked in the place that was destroyed. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Anyway, now, what would you say is what's your experience in let's say relatively high pressure healing?
Well, I have 3 kids, and if any of you
Good,
have had
good,
kids,
good
then
point there.
you'll know that kids are fairly accident prone.
I've had I had cousins and brothers and sisters, so yes.
My husband is also as I said, a florist, so I'd be able to get some, if I needed some particularly medical herbs, I'd probably be able to ask him or the shop to acquire them for probably a discount.
I mean, that's certainly useful. Obviously, you won't be expected to, like, that's not required. We can provide you with whatever you need, but anything that helps is a help.
And the other one was, were there any additional requirements?
Yes. And do you have any reservations about working here or requirements that might be preferable for you? We like to make sure that our employees are provided for and happy whilst they work.
I wouldn't need obviously I wouldn't need a room. But if there would be a place that could be kept aside for me to relax, you are aware you do have a staff room.
We have a staff room, if that'll work for you. There may be others coming in and out, but it will be a
that can
relatively
work.
calm area.
That can work.
Oh, excellent. Also, obviously, you'll be allowed to take breaks. I'm assuming we apply to OSHA regulations.
Yes, you do.
Okay, good.
No, we work everyone 24/7. What do you mean?
Welcome to the bone.
No breaks, not at all.
Right. Now, if I were to be injured at this point in time, would you be able to either heal me currently or tell me how you would go about healing me?
I would be able
after
to
examining me.
I
Excellent.
could try.
I'd like you to turn around for a moment,
Turns around.
and when I call, turn back around and assess me for injury, and also for and try and tell me what you do. I get out of my armor. All right, come on, Rook, do your worst. Don't actually do your worst.
Oh.
I remove any magical items that might get in the way of this.
Okay,
Because I don't trust that.
Okay,
fucking
so with an AC of 9, please make me an attack roll.
Okay, is it just one die, yeah?
1 die, because I'm going to say that Sasha's not going to openly accept advantage on this. 16.
16.
Hits.
They randomly smack on the back of the head.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, Sudz, you're here. Jeez.
Hi, Sudz.
When did
Yeah.
you show up? Oh,
Not too long ago, just been quiet.
okay.
If you want to...
Yeah, I had to use equalizer.
How much damage do I take?
Yeah, how much damage? Roll the d10. Is it d10? No, it's d12. What am I talking about?
D12.
Yeah, it's battle axe. It's great axe. What am I talking about?
Oh,
It's a great
yeah.
act. Just a bit of a dick.
You can reroll 1s
Wow.
and 2s if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
12.
17.
Okay.
Actually, no.
70 points.
Yes, 17.
Oh wow.
No, damage is 17. So, as Rook is there, he takes the axe.
I'll take this one on the shoulder.
Yeah,
and
You take an axe to the shoulder as it carves down Doesn't go too deep, but it's deep enough that it would cause a fair bit of damage.
All right. That's good, Rook. You've done enough. Thank you.
The axe is taken
Right,
out.
okay,
Sasha turns around.
I'm going to lie down on the floor. All right. Turn around.
She turns around.
Right.
Hey, she remains calm.
Thanks.
She walks over, remains calm, very much aware that you guys are the heroes of Adamanthia, and so knows that this is probably extreme for the average person, but you'll be fine. And she proceeds to tend to the wound. She explains that she would stitch it up.
Let's get an average person.
Due to the nature of the deepness of the wound, she'd treat it to make sure there wouldn't be any infection, and make sure that there wouldn't, and probably monitor the person for any signs of spoil around the wound.
Was there any of the burning? Did any of that happen? Because she's probably going to see a lot of this in my arena.
Partially cauterized wound. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that would help. But she.
Wait, if it's partially cauterized, does that mean that I take less damage?
No, it just means you're not going to bleed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I'm resistant to fire damage.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true, but it's just a torch infestation of the axe.
Yeah, which you stole. I needed to make a new one anyways.
Other than that,
it wasn't great.
You do notice that when she is dealing with this, you watch as she kind of reaches into her pocket, pulls out a little bit of what looks to be a green powder, smears it on her hands and rubs it over. As it does, you are healed by 6 hit points.
Nice.
As she uses Mother's Healing Hands.
Aww.
It's a special ability she has because she has dangerous kids.
Excellent.
Some boo-boo kissing abilities.
I'll be honest,
Perfect.
I kind of like her. I'm liking her and Samantha so far.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
To be fair, we did severely fuck over Steve.
It's Steve.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know that he really got a
fair.
I think he was the worst. I think he was the worst.
Well,
Right.
he panicked because your chest was blown open.
True.
He could see my organs.
It's like, don't worry, they're supposed to be like that. Holding the intestine.
Maybe if you had been like rolling on the ground in agony, he might have reacted better. Maybe he was just shocked.
For the next one, should we give them rolling on the agony?
Yeah.
If all 3 of us hit at the same time.
All 3 of us at the same time this time.
Yeah.
I don't have the spell slots to heal myself properly again.
Okay, so
Actually, saying that I probably do, but don't do that, please.
Let's
Okay.
hope the apprentice is good.
for the last person you see Maze Kelm.
Actually, you know what? Before that, we just asked one last thing of what's her name?
Lisa.
Lisa.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, if say my chest were blown open by necrotic energy, would you be able to stabilize that? Do you think?
I could try. I mean, a wound like that is pretty difficult.
Let's assume I'm not unconscious and I'm not necessarily dying. It's just a very grievous wound.
In such a case, then I'd probably just bandage it up and wait for the natural process to heal. If it was on you, because you're a dwarf, you'd probably be more resilient to it than most.
Yes.
On, say, for example,
I can
points
confirm
kind of, she kind of gestures to herself. If it were to hit me, I'd probably be kaput.
Yes, it's quite. Don't worry. You shouldn't be facing anything like that. Normally, it's just sort of like an extreme situation type deal.
I understand.
We wouldn't make you go through that. No, that would be terrible of us.
Stephen, you get a report from Hurricane saying, "Why are you terrorizing my citizens?"
Why are you both frightening the shit out of my citizens and then making them like both terrified and in awe of you?
All right.
And I'm just gonna text back because it's fun.
Are you satisfied with the answer?
I am satisfied with that answer.
Okay. Maze Kelm.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lynx tabaxi with what looks to be the small tufts of hair kind of curling off of the tips of her ears. She
Okay,
wears.
I'll be honest. I'm liking this one already.
She wears a beautiful yet simple dress, which is more yellow with a slight orange fading. However, there is an apron on the front to suggest the kind of like a butcher's apron almost, but not, or a doctor's apron rather than a kitchen apron. She also looks like she takes good care of her claws and fur. However, as you kind of approach her for the interview, she seems to have a fairly serious attitude, but a kind smile to her.
Okay, we can work with that.
Oh, hello.
Hello. What was it? Mazakin?
Maze Keln. Keln is the surname.
Okay. Greetings, Maze. Well, first things first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've worked for Hurricane for a while. I studied herbalism under his guidance in the colleges, and he brought me here from the Fractured Belt. I currently live here, and I'm good friends with him.
Good to know. Well, let's get on with the more nitty-gritty parts of the interview. First things first, what's your prior experience, and do you feel you have anything unique to add to our business here?
Well, I've worked in the applicable side of herbalism. I've had quite a lot of practical hands-on experience, and I can cast a little bit of magic, not much, but enough to be able to help individuals. Much like yourself, you may be aware of it. A fairly simple spell, the cantrip Spare the Dying.
Oh, that's useful.
She is also a grave cleric, which means that she can cast it at 30-foot range.
Yes! Yes, more clerics! Yes!
It's gone Palpatine on us now.
Unlimited clerics!
Oh, God.
No, in all seriousness, if you wanted to run a D&D campaign, the only real viable class that you could have every character be would be cleric. Like all barbarian, you get shut down by magic. All ranger, you get shut down by anything that gets to you in melee. All spellcaster, you suck. All cleric, you're fine.
Yeah, about the only thing the only alternative is maybe paladin, but it would be like, it would be like a poor man's version of cleric.
Yeah. Like, when you look at every class, cleric is debatably the weakest out of all of them, but it's the only one which you can have a full team of clerics and actually succeed in a campaign.
The weakest.
Rangers,
You've got ways to buff them up quite powerfully.
Rangers the weakest. They can have first level plus 10 to hit.
That's true. Okay.
Just
I think overall, like over every level, in like a cleric is still pretty powerful just because of their sheer survivability. Just like we're really bloody hard to kill.
Exactly. Anyway. But yes, I've studied in my various methodology and otherwise worked on these matters.
Good to know. Oh, that's a ding in your box. Right. And do you have any reservations or requirements for working here that you'd like to bring up now?
I'd probably still want to drink with my friends and some days with Hurricane and his band.
Well, obviously you'll have time off, and we're going to allow you to do whatever you like in that time. You also have breaks. We would prefer you avoid hard alcohol, but if you're on a break in between shifts. But other than that, yes, you should be fine. You should be more than welcome to drink in this establishment.
That's fine by me.
Oh, excellent. Right, and finally, were I to be injured, for example, currently, would you be willing to assess and then attempt to treat the injury, or describe your treatment if you don't have your tools or that you need with you?
I can certainly do that.
Right. We'd like you to turn around, and when you turn back, you'll find me on the floor with some injury on me that you'll have to find and then treat, or actually treat. Depends on what you can do. Just a moment, please.
Head's been blown off and just all down chest split open.
There's just a skull left going, this is fine. But what I'd like you to do is find the injury.
He's lying on the ground perfectly intact, but all of his organs are gone.
It's like
I can remove those.
just perfectly inside out.
The thing is, Sasha's just there like, I'm still not bloodied.
And technically, spare the dying would still work. So.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Okay. Okay. Sudz, you weren't here at the start, so you don't get a chance to fuck me over. Queglod, you only did an Eldritch Blast. Do you want to do something a bit more impressive? Because you've seen how much I can take.
Why he says only did an Eldritch Blast. Yeah, only did it.
Okay, so I'll what I'll do is I will try and get into close range and.
What do you mean try? I'm just going to stand there.
So yeah, are you wearing armor at this point, or?
No armor. Let's say I took it off.
AC 9. If you're doing what I think you're doing, it's not going to matter.
Oh no, I wasn't going to do shock and grasp. I was just going to stab you with my dagger.
I'll be honest. That's not painful.
I was going to do some
prison shacked.
I was going to do some magic bullshit to make you think I was casting and then shank you.
Well, it does that. I want hammer-horns behind.
Go ahead and give me an attack.
Ultimate power.
But the sheer surprise of that made me say ow.
Okay, you watch as Queglod gets in close range and begins to draw the cantrip for shocking grasp, and you're like, oh, it's going to be electricity. Before there's just this before you feel this slight sting, and then you look down as Queglod's just stabbing you over and over again, and then turns around with a bloodied knife and just walks back. You look down and you can see about 3 or 4 puncture holes in near your lower rib.
And I'm still not bleeding. Right. I'm going to try and clean my shirt a little. All right. I'll get on the floor and just be like, oh no. Okay, turn around now. Oh, I'm in pain. Okay. Oh, you need to help me. I can't tell you where the pain is because agony has rendered me mute.
She rushes over to you, immediately looks around, sees the blood on the floor, and says, "Well, there's blood, so it's an external injury. That's good." And proceeds to then proceeds to look over you as you're rolling and wiggling.
Yes.
As you're trying to squirm, she kind of forcefully grabs bit by bit of you. First your head, making sure your neck's not cut or anything, followed by your arms, and followed by your torso. She does find the wound first time round. She doesn't miss it before she proceeds to say, well, it's several stab wounds.
Correct.
So I'd say in such a case,
no. Yeah, I'll be real with you here. This is nothing.
It'll be fairly simple to stitch it up, place a bandage on it and let it heal. Alternatively, she's going to cast Cure Wounds at first level. And undoes the majority of it, as she seals up the majority of it and says, the rest of that, she will just take some rest. It might bruise, but that's something that can be easily handled.
Wonderfully done. And might I ask, any thoughts as to say there was a grievous wound in my chest and you could see some of my organs? What would you do then?
I would begin casting my healing spells until hopefully your skin had at least sealed the majority of it up. Then probably stitches and bandages until you would be stable.
I like her. I'm saying that one out loud. No stealth check. I like her. Good. Good. Very good.
Well, glad to hear.
Right. Well, as it stands, you've done wonderfully well here. We'll be contacting you all soon to let you know whether you've been accepted or rejected. This is to everyone after we get back, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your time. If any other positions show up with us, we'll be happy to keep you in mind if you'd like that. And of course, and we do have and if any of you are looking for work, we can put in a good word in certain places if need be.
Particularly for Stephen. Oh my god.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen
We need to find Stephen another place.
Stephen openly says, "I'll be looking for other work. If I don't get it here, I'll look elsewhere. But thank you for the offer." Lisa doesn't say anything, but it looks like she wants to. Before they proceed to leave, Samantha seems to just be more. It seems to be more of a. It's like she really wants the job here.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell that she doesn't plan on. I'm gonna say from a natural insight, you pick up that she really wants the job here, and if she doesn't get it, she's leaving town.
I'll be honest. I want Samantha.
Which one was Samantha?
The orc.
The first, yeah.
Yeah, I like the first one and the last one.
Yeah, same.
I'll be honest. I also liked the mama, but I feel like she's gonna be fine without us, and also I feel like we could maybe hire her on for a different position, maybe.
Yeah.
Remember, if you
I
want me to
like
leave her details in there, I can leave the details in there, and I can just highlight them in orange.
I would like her to be kept in mind.
Okay. I'll highlight her in orange so you can bring her back later if you have a job in mind for her.
You can hire 2 of these or just 1?
You hire 2 for the healing team.
First and last one for me.
First and last for me.
Yeah, first and last.
Okay.
You know, the last one had it quite easy.
Samantha and Maze.
I'm going to move Stephen from it because I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Stephen, you poor bastard.
Yeah. Do you want to know the context for
fire?
that? Do you want to know the context for that? Sudz?
Yeah. Hit him, tell him.
Sudz, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, effectively, here's what they decided to do. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Eldritch Blast for the first one. Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage. It's hard to tell what it is. Second amount of damage. Okay. How do you deal with such a wound when you have Blight cast on you and does 50 points of damage, and the chest is blown open of Sasha? What do you do? Stephen panicked.
Like, I'm still not bloody.
Stephen panicked, rightfully so. So, alright, so you have hired your healing team, which is Samantha and Maze. Alright, I will get to adding them to your tavern list later, but for now, that is done. Alright. So, in such a case, what is your next group you wish to take care of?
Which ones? What are our options again?
Healing team is done. So you have bar hand, housekeeper, cook, and shop hand.
I think we'll go for. Okay, my vote is for housekeeper.
That was the largest group, by the way. So.
Yeah, my vote is for housekeeper.
Housekeeper. Okay. Housekeeper has 2.
Because I feel like we could maybe bring in Mama Lisa in for that one if need be.
Or shop, because she previously worked in a shop.
That is true.
Yeah, if you want to say that you're going to bring her in, we can go through the other applicants, and if you want to ask her, then I can put that forward.
Okay, cool.
I would like to keep her in mind because I feel like she was a nice presence, and I feel like she was competent.
I will tell you now, she will not work the shop because that means that there will be nobody at home with the kids.
Right. Okay.
Because she needs to be at home or somebody needs to be at home to either take care of the kids, take care of the home, or whatever. Because it isn't going to be good for her if she turns around and says, "I can't come in because so and so is sick," and with multiple children, that's a problem. Whereas with housekeeper, she can take the late hours, same as a healing team shift, and she'd be okay with that. So housekeeper, she's okay with, but I'll give you the others. So We'll say you bring her in, and I'll just give you her results after, because you know who she is. Otherwise, you have Sjedel Sieg. He is a human. He is male. He's 54 years old, and he is from Adamanthia.
Are you sure he isn't just two halflings in a coat?
His profession is butler, and his experience is plenty. His experience written is plenty of experience in his field of expertise, and then it comes with a reference. Not from one of the noble houses, but from some of the more upper middle class.
Okay. So he's a butler, but he definitely knows how to shank a man. Got it.
As he comes in, you see them coming individually this time. You see I really spelled human wrong there. Okay.
You've got to tell us how you did that.
Huamn.
Perfect.
I'm not writing that unless we actually hire him. I'm sorry.
He is a tall human with a sharp look about him. He's very professional looking and wears what looks to be a formal butler's outfit for more of an upper class individual, with a few natural embellishments on it. So what looks to be 2 rings and a simple chain necklace. He has slicked back black hair. Seems to have been waxed or something. That comes to a round bunch, or a rough bunch at the back of his hair, which kind of sprays out in all directions after that. He also has what looks to be in one of his pockets. He has a set of reading glasses, and in the other he has a pocket watch. He also wears white gloves as well as he walks in. So he is very professional.
Greetings, Mr. Whom was it?
Seattle.
Okay. I thought it was whom. Why did we say whom?
Oh, that because I spelled human wrong.
Oh, okay. I thought that was his name. Okay.
No, Seattle, which is Syeddle.
Ah, right. Mr. Seattle, was it? Yes. Well, so you're applying for the housekeeper position, yes?
That is correct.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and your prior experience.
Well, I come from one of the upper houses. I have worked there for 40 years since I came out of education.
Mm-hmm.
I have acquired higher positions. However, my current hirer told me that I should probably find another job at the same time, because things are looking rough on his end, and he doesn't want to let me off of work. But just in case things went wrong, he told me I should find work, so gave me a reference for here.
Right. Very well then.
That would mean that I would have to be split between here and there, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue, as I have noticed you have several housekeepers.
Yes, we can organize shifts.
Yes. And there shouldn't
obviously, if there's some sort of housekeeping emergency, we may have to infringe upon you a little bit.
Housekeeping emergency.
Look, you have not seen what happens when we get stag doos in here, Rook. All right. Sometimes
a guy have his chest blown out.
Sometimes there are emergencies. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
What's I'm just fucking with people here.
Apparently so. No.
Right. So, what do you feel is do you have any requirements or reservations about working here that we could perhaps fix for you?
Only that it would be shared working hours. Other than that, I live locally, so I wouldn't have to go far.
Zuvin, remind me, do we set up a weekly shift schedule, or do we set it in?
With housekeeping, typically what we do is Sheba takes care of most things during the day. While she's barhanding, she does the same thing. It's just the cleanup at night. She's usually exhausted, so having another housekeeper would be good for that. So it's mainly just close-up time, and it would be in the mornings as well. So it wouldn't be a problem during the day, which would mean that it shouldn't be much of an issue with crossover, because it means that Sheba would be taking most of it anyway.
Excellent. Does that work for you?
That can work, yes.
Excellent.
That should work fine. It means I would be able to work with my prior boss more thoroughly during the day.
If necessary, we can speak to him as well, make sure everything all works out.
That would be entirely up to you, but if you feel the need, then you can go right ahead.
Well,
yes, we can talk to him.
Who are we going to send?
Quick, let's send Elsyan. Oh.
Yeah.
He's the one who deals with noble folk, but he's not here.
No, we just get Malcom to go and just say, "Oh, this is Prince Malcom."
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You're royalty. He's noble. You outrank him.
Oh, but oh man. I totally got lost in what was being said. What, noble?
Oh, this
guy's
old boss.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Thank you very much.
Do you have any tests for him?
We have a messed up room that basically we just left Rook in there for 5 minutes and we came back and that's what he gets.
Oh, cool.
As you can imagine, it's a tip.
Okay. Rook, roll me a d20. Higher is more mess.
Excellent. Come on, please be a crit. 14. No,
14.
That's pretty good.
That's still pretty good, yeah. Okay. He goes into the room, he looks at it and goes, right, I can work with this. Have I got a time limit?
No time limit, but we will be timing
5
you.
minutes.
Of course. You watch
Shut up and Bern.
as he collects the various apparatus that he'd need for this. He collects the bits he needs. He deals with the immediate spillages and mess that has been made. Proceeds to clean up any broken or thrown around, I don't know, towels, soap, who knows. Just proceeds to clean up the immediate mess and then deals with the more finer details, such as tucking in the bed and making sure that everything looks good. It is done to a prim and proper standard. You'd imagine that if every room was like this in the inn, it would probably take his entire night shift. But the likelihood of all of your rooms being like this would mean that would be straight up vandalism. So at that point, you'd be arresting someone and get help. With cleaning the tavern floor, he seems to know his way around a tavern. So he cleans that up fairly quickly and fairly effectively.
Cool. I'll try and make more mess next time.
You also still haven't filled out your human quota because you pushed aside the humans from the previous one.
Oh.
Just saying.
Look, yeah, I know.
I think it's about the time we get it.
But also, we've got Lisa on speed dial for
That's
this
true.
one if need be.
That's true. The next person, if you're satisfied with his performance.
Yes. Very good. What was his timing exactly? Like, can we get like
You'd probably say that it took maybe 10 minutes with that major mess.
10 minutes? That's pretty good. For a big mess, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he seems to be very efficient. He knows what order to do things in, cleaning up immediate mess, making space to put things in so that the space can be more used efficiently.
And if we hire him, maybe Elsyan will like him.
That is probably also true, because he does have a
So we
butler
can't hire him.
But
Don't question me.
I do question you.
I love it.
Alright, next on the chopping block, and the last one other than Lisa from the previous lot, is Linda Drexus, a dwarf. She is 92 years old. She comes from Adamanthia. She is currently unemployed. She has no experience.
Well, that's fun.
Nope.
I mean,
She,
typical dwarf.
as you see her, she is simple and clean, by the looks of her. You recognize her. She's
Oh, no.
probably one of the daughters of your builders team leader's children.
Oh no.
She has
God.
rough brown hair. She has a fine beard for her age.
Oh, very good.
She is fairly broadly built, meaning she's probably seen quite a bit of manual labor. As she
Something
walks
at least.
in, it looks like somebody has made her to look professional, but she doesn't like the look of being professional.
Okay. Well, hello, Linda. Good to see you.
Hello.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we start the official interview process?
Badar sent me. He said I should get a job here.
Right.
It'll do me good.
I agree. Getting a job can do you good. I'm younger than her, guys. Can we appreciate this for a second? I am like considerably younger than her. She is 40 years older than me. Can someone else take over for this one?
You're such a baby.
I'm like 50 something, yeah.
I thought you were like 80 something.
No, I'm 57, Chris. I am barely out of dwarf childhood.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I can't do it. Someone else take over. She's no.
So, what sort of skills do you have?
I can clean. I know my way around a room
Okay.
That's good.
Excellent.
and a tavern. I know my way around a tavern as well.
That's well, okay. That's all.
Probably best to get straight to the test then.
Mhm.
See what you can do.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Is it
then.
my turn?
I will be helping with this one.
Oh, he's gonna help. Yeah, we're both making a mess. Both
Alright,
the
go
young
ahead.
ones.
Go
Send me
ahead.
for me.
I
Hmm?
can't roll, Chris. You
Go.
have to roll.
Alright,
for me.
I'll roll again then.
3. Alright, so you make a not as much mess as last time. You don't go breaking anything because that would be improper. However, you do mess the place up. She takes about 25 minutes. She doesn't seem to be taking the job seriously. It's almost as if she's either expecting the job or she doesn't care.
Right.
Okay.
Linda, can I ask a question?
Go on.
Do you actually want to work here, or are you just doing this because your dad told you?
He told me I need a job, so
Yes, but is there anything that you feel more passionate about? Because I just feel like you're not really enjoying this here. Is there anything else you'd prefer to be doing? Because we can try and help you find something that you'll actually like doing.
fighting.
Oh, I like fighting.
Well, we are opening up a fighting pit below the tavern.
Just saying,
shortly.
you haven't got a license for a bookie yet, but if you want to get one, she'd happily take the job.
I'm
Okay,
good
how
with
do we go
that. I'm
about getting
good
a
with that.
license?
The license for a bookie, I believe, is now that you've got the pit, I think you can just say you want a license for a bookie.
I want a license, and if there's any expense, I will pay for it.
Yep.
I don't think there is. I think it's just a monthly pay to the person who's the bookie.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's 8
Right.
GP per week, so she'd be paid the exact same.
As a housekeeper.
Actually,
Excellent. Look.
no, she'd be paid slightly less. I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Slightly
Still,
more,
first job, and if she gets the fighting, she'll take the less money.
So, can
We're
I
opening up
approach
a
her and
fighting
say... Well, there you
Okay.
go. He said
Rook, come over here. Come over here. Rook, come over here.
it.
Go.
There you go. So, in my fighting pit, a position has just opened up for a bookie. Would you be more interested in getting to the nitty-gritty of the fighting arena?
Count me
Would
in.
you like the position? Bam. You have the job.
On a probationary period, just to see how you do. We need to make sure you're competent, but you know, as long as you don't fuck up horribly, you've got the job.
I take this job over cleaning any day.
Excellent.
There you go.
Been a pleasure meeting you, and give your dad our best.
Okay, so you hired someone for a job you hadn't even prepared for.
No. Does that mean we can hire Lisa now?
Look. The choices are between Lisa and like
Seattle.
And Settle. Settle's really competent and good, but Lisa's really nice. And she has the mama's healing hand, but I feel like Sasha needs a motherly influence in their life.
On top of that, I mean, she must be good at cleaning. She has 3 kids.
Yes.
Very true.
Okay. Okay, can we bring her in for this? Because I feel like we need to talk to her about this specifically.
Okay.
Who wants to call her in?
So she comes in to work. She comes into the workplace.
Now we have to hire her. Right. Right. Lisa, pleasure to see you again. We've got another job position that we think you might be suited for. How do you feel about housekeeping? It would be at night, so you'd be able to see your kids and work with them as need be. But we have flexible hours that we can work around depending on.
That can work.
Good, excellent. Now. You have 3 kids. I'm imagining cleaning has become something of an art form.
Yes.
Are you going to be all right with cleaning up here as well as at home?
Might be tiring, but if my husband is getting home earlier than I will, he's got to deal with most of the mess.
All right. We can work with that. That's something at least.
I love it.
All right. Now, obviously, we've got a little test for you. Again.
I promise it doesn't mean any blood.
Don't worry, no blood this time. Yes.
Blood all over the room.
Roll, and again,
advantage.
Sasha will. Yes.
Right.
Advantage to smash up a room.
Honestly, we should have just let.
Almost 2 1s knocks a pot
know.
over.
Not
No
the pot,
smashing. We don't do smashing.
No, I controlled myself. We only got a 16, not a crit.
Okay. So, messing up the room pretty bad. Going straight into this, she looks at the room and goes, honestly, not as bad as some of my kids. She takes about 12 minutes to get it all set up. However, she goes the extra mile. As much as she is professional with the way she works, or as much as Seattle is professional with the way he works, she seems to work a little bit more fluidly. She's done this a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And there's slightly more mess than what Seattle had. Mm-hmm. You'd also imagine that she's probably more used to real mess. So tavern, floor vomit. Probably someone's been thrown out onto the street and probably just not in great shape, or there's been a bad time or a punch up, and she'd be able to clean out quite easily. Whereas
she's done good here.
A bit more, yeah.
Guys, she's done good here. I want.
Me too.
I wanna. That's my vote. My vote is Lisa.
Yep, same.
Do you want me to leave Seattle in there as a possibility, or take him out?
I'd like you to leave him as like a future possibility in case he still wants work later on.
Okay.
Because he does seem very competent, and we will be expanding at some point. But it's just a matter of come on, Lisa's lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with that taken care of,
also one of her kids might be a necromancer. And I just
I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it might be.
Maybe, just maybe.
Well, if it is, you've got 2 people who are anti-necromancers, so
yeah,
he'll be fine.
It's fine. The last boss of the campaign is gonna be her challenge. She's gonna come. That's the end, guys.
Alright, so you have shop hand and bar hand left. I'm gonna do cook with you, Sudz, because that's something you'd be more proficient at doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
Okay.
bar hand and shop hand. What one do you want to take care of first?
Just shop hand?
Shop hand is next. Alright, so you have 3 applicants.
Rapid fire, Chris.
Yes,
Go.
You have Arroya Castle, an onyx black tiefling. She is 23 years old. She comes from Orum's Anchor. Her profession currently is a job seeker. Her experience is she used to run a small store in their old home with her grandparents, which you find out have passed away, and so she's moved to the big city. As she comes in, you can see she is a fairly beautiful young onyx tiefling who has what looks to
Move
be
over, Malcolm. This one's Matt. No.
who has a slight shine to her skin, kind of giving it that onyxy color. She has long curly silver hair, bright yellow eyes, as well as wearing a long dress which seems to be made from almost like a dull silver thread. It looks smooth yet pretty. And she also wears what looks to be a simple brass necklace, which has a single piece of amber fitted in the center of it.
Okay, then.
You have... these will all be coming in at the same time. You have Dogane Juziva, or Juziva, who is a half-elf male. He is 156 years old. He lives in Adamanthia. His profession, he is currently unemployed. His experience is several years of various work, including 6 references.
How many of them are still alive?
Dun,
dun, dun.
As he comes in, you can see he seems to be a thinner yet older gentleman for his half-elf stature. He is wearing simple but smart dark clothing with what looks to be silver cufflinks on either one of his sleeves. He has short and slightly ruffled brown hair with complementary white highlights at the tips, but they show more of a coming of age rather than style, suggesting he put them there himself just to be a bit more fitting in. He also has what looks to be, or he has a sharp and pointed nose as well as slightly longer and pointed ears for a half-elf, suggesting more of an elven blood.
Okay. So maybe he's like the kid of 2 like 3/4 elf, half elves.
And the final one is Lenel Flint. He is human. He is 18 years old. He lives in Adamanthia. He currently lives in student accommodation. He is currently studying the transmutative arts.
I would love a bit of transmutation.
Otherwise, his experience is he doesn't have much. This is his first job. And he, what he looks like, he is slightly short for a human. He has blonde hair, cascades in quite a long length down the back of his head. He has dull brown eyes with hints of green within them, and he also has the faint smell of perfume about him. His facial features are mostly angular and well defined. He wears a simple but suitable set of clothing for this interview. So,
right.
Those are the 3 of them.
How do we want to play this one, guys? I honestly don't know what to do for a shopkeeper.
This is shop hand.
So
this would be someone this is someone who would help. This is CSA work.
Okay, so what we've got to do is we've got to do the shelf stacker.
Right.
You've got to check.
Who's going to make a mess of the facing?
Okay.
Only I understand these terms. Let's go.
I was going to say, I am totally good at this. I do it in every shop I go in. Make a mess.
You're a monster.
I am.
They're being paid to do work. It's fine. I should know.
That's not how that works at all. Don't be a dick to retail workers.
Customers seem to think so.
Oh, I know, right? Tell me about it.
I want to set fire to people sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me about it. It drove me.
Oh, you know what the worst thing is? What the absolute worst thing is? I have literally seen someone pick up something from a stand, look at it, drop it on the floor, and then walk away. I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? You monster!
No, I haven't seen something quite as bad as that. I was on till once, and this couple came up, and they were looking through they put the shopping basket down, they were paying for stuff. He said, we picked up too many of these by accident. Would you mind putting this back? And he gave it to his wife or whoever to take back. She walked like a few steps and put it on the end of one of the tills, then walked back, and he turned around and was like, "You didn't put it back, did you?" I said, "Go and put it back." And she looked at him like, "Really? Do I have to?" And he said, "I'm not going to make this gentleman do it." And so he turned around to me and said, "Don't serve until she takes it back."
Wow.
I salute you if you're listening. You probably aren't, but still. Anyway. So, enough about my stories at work. So, what do? You mess up the facing?
Yeah.
Alright.
Basically, it was just like, okay, well, it's going to be 2 portions. First of all, they have to stack it. Then, after we've messed up the shelf, they have to fix it.
Okay. So, Miss Tiefling, are those the only 2 tests, or did you want to do another one for politeness as well?
Oh, can we get someone to dress up as an old person and be a really demanding customer? Who wants to be a really demanding customer?
I was going to say, who wants to be the old person? Queglod, do you want to play yourself again?
One sec. One mo. Malcom, you're not here, is he? So he could come in as an annoying customer. Because she hasn't seen him in the interviewing thing.
That's true.
Can I run off and inform Malcom of all of this?
Malcom, are you okay with being turned into an old lady?
An old lady.
Yes.
But you can't be a giant shark in the shop. Just to say. That'd be a
Why
bit
not?
weird.
That would be the best.
Well, it would
A
mess up
giant
the face
shark
then.
in a china shop.
We already have an old lady.
Yeah, we
She's
do
not that
have
old
an
anymore,
lady.
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
Alright, so, going through each of them, with Malcom being the old lady. Going through the stacking of things from ground zero, very well done. She knows her way around stacking things fairly easily. Fixing a shelf, she does fairly well. She catches the one thing she does knock off, so it doesn't break. So she obviously has a little bit of experience and natural reflexes for this. And when it comes to the old lady Malcom, it's off-putting. She knows it's play acting, but she can't help but laugh.
Oh, what you doing that? Where's my beans? I want my beans. I don't know what old people do.
Don't sell beams, you sell spears and javelins.
Where's my beans? Go on, Malcom, take it away.
Beans of nourishment.
Beans. Where?
Alright, so... Yeah, she finds it more hilarious than anything that an old lady would come in, and she can't seem to take the last bit seriously. She tries her best, but she can't seem to take the nature of it all seriously.
To be honest, it's more to see if they've got a good sense of humour. To be honest. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, did you have any other questions of her?
I haven't any. Anyone else? Take that as a no.
I'll take that as a, yeah, I'll take that as a no then.
Yeah, I guess.
So, moving on to the next one. Dogain Jucifer. Doing the same tests. He's, again, good at working from ground up. When it comes to repairing things, he does accidentally knock something off and it does break. Or it doesn't break, it hits the ground, which would sometimes cause it to break, but thankfully it didn't this time. And when it comes to Granny Malcom, he acts seriously, knowing that this is a part of the test, and deals with it accordingly. He is gentle but firm with the way he handles it, and very respectful.
By the way, someone else will take the voting here, because I'm just like, I don't know. I've already done 2 of them, I'm just like,
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Yes, huh?
Alright.
No, okay.
Lenel Flint. Okay. Working from the ground up, very effective. He does use a little bit of magic to move things, and he makes sure that that's okay, but otherwise he uses magic to move things and places things in place in a very well-made manner. He prepares the shelves in a quick and effective manner. He seems to be very eager and determined for this position, and as it comes to the final stage of dealing with Granny Malcom, he handles it in a very effective way, and despite everything that would come into play, he uses a little bit of his magic to make sure that he can reach items from across the store using Mage Hand, as well as being able to use a little bit of other few bits of his magic to help with and assist with all of this. Keeping himself calm with calm emotions and that kind of thing. So he seems to have a good lay of the land, and he seems to be very determined for this. Otherwise, he did very well.
Okay.
I'm good with this. I'm good with
I
him.
like the first.
I quite liked him, the last guy.
I like first and last, personally. You only need the one shop hand, right?
Yeah.
One shop hand because your shopkeeper is Abod. So.
Yeah, I like the last was pretty good.
The last was the most effective.
I just feel like the magic adds to the pizzazz.
Okay.
I mean, he'd work well with that, but
The only thing which he does mention, which is a quota that he'll need, actually a few of them do. Arroya has the requirement that when it gets to some holidays or if there's an emergency, she'll have to go back home. This means she could be away for 5 days at most.
Okay.
Which could be quite a long time because she has to travel to Orm's Anchor, which is a 2-day journey. Or 5 days at least. Sorry. Lenore says that he has studies, so there are times when he will probably have to focus on those.
Could I perhaps say that? Oh, if you work here, we do have a mage tower that might end up being supplied, which may be of help to you.
Abod voices his concerns, but ultimately he's okay with it so long as he doesn't get in the way. And he does warn you that if he does get in the way too much, he is liable to get bitten.
Yes, keep that in mind. If you get in Abod's way, you will get bitten.
With human form Abod informing this, he is a little bit concerned. But yeah, he understands what magic's like. So yeah, he's otherwise okay with it, but otherwise he might have to take time off for studies.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Yes.
So the majority was for Lenel Flint then.
Yep.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, I do like the shop hand. Is there any other? Okay, what's the other job that's left?
Barhand.
Barhand.
Do you think she'd be interested in that?
She could potentially. She's just looking for work, so it could be it could suit her. Whereas Dogin Juzova is, he has 4 references, but ultimately he knows how to do the job, but he does make a few mistakes in the interview. So, did you want me to just wipe him off the board for that?
Also, he's an elf, so no.
He's a half elf. Oh yeah. Do you want me to just remove him off of the list?
Yeah.
Okay, so get rid of him, and you wanted me to see if Arya would be interested in taking the position. Well, no, she would be interested in taking the bar hand position, potentially.
Yeah, potentially. It's just because a matter of she was competent, and she was good. It's just that I feel like the magic and the staying calm is a bonus, whereas she had a bit of trouble with trying to keep a serious face.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, so going on to bar hand, you have three potential people. You have Braze Lonk. He is a human male. He is 26 years old. He comes from the Phoenix.
Oh.
And that is his home. His current profession is Undertaker/Bounty Hunter. His experience is carrying pricey cargo. And you get a letter with it from Rahal saying this individual is looking for work. Currently it is a dry season, and He is, and Braze is very good at what he does and can potentially join the guild position if you should get a guild. He'll be very valuable to you once that time comes around, if you should ever do so.
I mean, we're gonna, because what else are we gonna spend our money on, right?
Everything.
Everything else we could possibly think of. So yes,
Wow.
he comes from the
Wow.
Phoenix with quite a bit of that. As you meet him, he is a darker skinned human, almost pitch black in color. You can see what looks to be slight silver or gold tattoos on the palm of his hands. He is completely bald, and his eyes are shock white or silver. Infernal, I believe you know what he is. Out of character and in character.
He's monk.
Yeah. And although it looks as though he's blind with these eyes, he does follow your movement. Other than that, he wears dark, baggy clothing currently. However, he does mention that he has got a suit, it just hasn't been made yet.
Okay.
Interesting.
He also talks a
Interesting as
little
a
bit
bar
like
hand,
this.
but for the guild, yeah.
Hmm.
In other words, basically, if you hire this guy, you will guarantee keeping him once the guild hits. You'll have to find a new bar hand once that comes around, but...
That's not an issue.
Could we just hire 2 now and then eventually just move him over?
Yeah, that's fine.
We
We
could
can do that as
yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want me,
Because
do you want me-
that
do you
way
want me
we
to just
don't have
mark
to do
him in
this
green?
again.
Do you want me to just mark him in green? Alright, so you got 1,
Yeah.
you're hiring a second. Alright. You've got 2 others, then. So you've got Monk Dress. Monk Dress is a full-blooded orc again. He is
We've
male.
already got one of those.
He's 15 years old. He lives out.
50!
He lives out. Well, yeah. Orcs age. They die at the age of 50. So he's got 35 more years until he expires.
So he's like a dog.
Yeah.
That's a thought. How old is our healer? Is Samantha?
Samantha was 22, I think.
Oh God, we need to find a way to extend her lifespan. Sorry, question: if I pump her full of dwarf blood, will she become a dwarf?
That's not how that works.
Oh my god.
That's not how that works.
It's fine. I can grow all my blood back. I can't die. I can, but it's very bloody hard to kill me.
I can just imagine him creeping up behind her with a giant syringe of dwarf blood, like Dana, 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 Dana.
Question.
What are you doing?
If an elf vampire bites a human, does the person become a half-elf vampire? That's the real
Asking
question.
the real questions.
Wow.
Oh man. I mean, they still get the +2 to charisma either way. Anyway, his home is outside city. It is written as such. Doesn't mention what city, just outside city. His profession is no job, and his experience is written careful.
Okay.
All right.
He's a you
Interesting.
can tell he's probably not very good at languages.
Yes.
Okay.
He
I
is
cast tongues.
okay. It's easier to understand him. He's very fluent in Orcish, not as much in Common.
Hello. Okay, actually, you know what? Better thought. How much does it cost to cast Hallow, Chris?
Oh,
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, let me just check.
It's like 100 GP, I think.
Something like that.
Hallow's
Cleric.
5th level.
Yep.
Hallow. Oh, I have to look it up in the PHB. Do you know off the top of your head, Sudz?
Getting it now. Herbs, oil, and incense worth at least 1,000 GP, which the spell consumes.
Okay. So 1,000 GP.
I happen to have exactly 1,000 GP on me.
You want to cast Hallow on your tavern, like we agreed?
Anyone want to chip in, please?
Wait, what is this for?
What is it for?
Hallow will prevent the passage of demons, fiends, undead, fae, and aberrations.
I'm gonna let elementals and celestials through.
Okay,
but
gonna let
fae,
elementals-
fiends, and undead.
Fae, fiends, and undead won't be able to walk on your tavern. They won't be able to enter the space without.
And they also can't
high-level
like
magic.
and they can't charm, frighten, or possess creatures within it. Any creature that is charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature is no longer charmed, frightened, or possessed upon entering the area. And I can bind an extra effect to the area, which I'm going to be casting tongues, so that literally everybody who enters this area can talk with each other.
I mean, that would
Okay.
certainly be helpful.
Yeah.
Alright,
So it will
I can
break-
chip some in.
It will break language barriers.
Yeah. Okay. What are people willing to chip in?
So how many of us are going to chip in? Because I mean, I'm quite happy. I've got 2,700.
If you want, I can abduct money from Elsyan.
Yes.
I'll
do
chip
that.
in 500.
Yeah, I'll chip in 500. Fuck it.
I mean, that pays it. I don't have to chip in. You know what? If you both add in like 300, I'll add in 400. I don't
Okay.
like you
steal
guys.
some from Elsyan. He doesn't know.
Oh, actually, yes, do that. How much are you willing to take from Elsyan?
I gotta see how much he has first.
That guy, right? Should we all just put in 250?
Okay, he has a lot. All right, I'm taking 200 out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're
saving up. Poor Sam.
Oh, poor bastard. Okay, if he's doing 200, you guys do 250. I'll do 300. Sound
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, that's cool.
Wait, how much am I putting in?
How much?
You're putting in 200.
250, wasn't it?
Oh, 250. Yeah, 250.
Right. How much platinum is that? So I know how to deduct.
25.
25.
25. Right. So that'll be 23. 2, 3. There you go. Bam. Done.
Awesome. Yep, cool. I've detracted it from mine. Chris, do your thing.
Yeah. Okay. So in such a case, he seems to have being able to speak. You speak to him, and he hears it perfectly. And as he begins to speak, or attempts to speak in common, he finds it surprisingly easy.
Yes, there's a spell around the area that is permanent, by the way, guys. So that's great.
Oh, that makes
that
things a
cause-
lot easier then. Talk.
Yes.
Yes, I live outside of Adamanthia. Currently don't have a job, but yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Tell me, would you like? I'd assume if you're living outside of Adamantia, you'd like to stay here then, for.
I would like to go back to. I'd like to go back to tribe outside of city. Family is not far, about 2 hours walk.
Okay.
Currently living in fields. Farmer is okay with us living in barn. There's not too many of us.
Okay. Well, as long as you're all right. I mean.
I just need money to help pay for food.
Okay. All right. Well, first things first. How do you feel about being a bar hand?
It's a job. It's money.
Okay. Do you have any prior experience at all in such a position of like carting around objects safely and ensuring they get to people?
Yes. Worked with. Our tribe was cattle herders previously.
Okay.
But not greatly experienced with smaller objects. Used to carrying sheep and cows.
Okay.
I can see how you can go from sheep and cows to glass.
Yes. I mean, they certainly squirm less. Alright.
Yeah, so.
That is true.
In that case, shall we have? Let's Are you all right with essentially grabbing some drinks from the bar? I gesture at Zubin, and bringing them to a few of us set up around the room, just to make sure that you've got decent balance and can move around. That's what bar hands do, right?
Yeah. Bar hands tend to orders. They take them back to Zubin. Zubin deals with them. If there's food orders, they take them to the kitchen. Otherwise, they deal with taking drinks to tables and just making sure they're getting everything right. It doesn't seem like he's unintelligent. At first glance, it seemed, okay, this isn't going to be great because of how his resume is written. It's just he's got a lack of common. With the tongues on the tavern, that seems to bypass everything, as he's actually quite intelligent. He is also very dexterous. He's careful with how he handles things. He's not the fastest. Then again, Sheba and Fredor run around the tavern carrying drinks and mark speed and don't drop anything.
Because they're ridiculous.
Because they're ridiculous. They're experienced and they're small, so they can go in between legs and that kind of thing to get around. Whereas this guy, he's huge. He's big compared to the modern person, so he has to be very careful in the tavern. But he is very careful, and he does lift over the obstacles, and places the drinks down. You haven't lost anything. None of the
probably be quite good with carting like kegs around if we get more giants visiting.
Very, very much so. He'd be very good at that general stock, taking it in and putting it in the storehouse, that kind of thing. Helping Angus out with that. Yeah, other than that, you give him a few orders as well to see if he can remember them, and he remembers them in order, so who needs what. He doesn't need to ask people what they had, he just places them down on the table and makes sure you got what you wanted. He seems to have a very good memory.
Okay.
Is that everything you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else there. He did quite well. I'm very happy with that. Unless we get more like fucking ninjas coming in, I think.
Speaking of ninjas.
Oh fuck.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. As Leng Twen comes in, you see a Kenku Raven walk in through the door.
Oh, we haven't got one of those yet.
He's male. He is 22 years old. He comes from the Fractured Belt, but he lives in Adamanthia. His current profession is he is an architect. His experience is he is trained in acrobatics, and he is generally very polite, as well as having a very good memory. You see what looks to be a short Raven Kenku who kind of stands tall, kind of back straight, that kind of thing. He seems to have well-kept black feathers. He wears a Haori kimono. If you don't know, look it up. It's probably what you'd see. I'm not gonna say quite a bit because it's stereotypical, but it's traditional Japanese clothing. It seems to be of a black or white design. He also has what looks to be a curved short sword to one side, and he also wears a series of gold and cobalt jewelry.
Exciting.
As he walks in quite sure, not necessarily sure of himself, but he walks in quite confidently, keeping a good stature, and he kind of.
I think we should get in our resident ninjas to
okay,
like...
getting in your resident ninjas, Vardra and Peneva, they watch. Do you have any other resident ninjas? Fredor.
I mean, maybe Tiny Goblin Boy if you want.
Yeah,
if you want, he's a ranger, I guess.
Fredor. The Cobalt Shen.
Yes.
Shen.
I quit calling him Goblin because my brain instantly goes small and shitty. What is that? What's that? Yes, Goblin.
He's a red kobold, I believe.
Yeah, he was a kobold. Yes.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, Grim shows up.
Okay.
What about shitty goblin?
We've got
He
Peneva
was silver/white. There we go.
Okay.
Is what Shen was. I have it written down in his description, but not his everything else.
I'll be honest. We're just gonna have him playing in the staff room.
That's what he's for.
Yeah, he's there for moral support at the moment.
Okay, but yes, he comes in. You've got your resident ninjas looking over him. looking at him, he's probably quite skilled. You can tell about his stature, you can tell about his physique. He's probably got a little bit more mileage compared to the others.
Okay. Bit of experience is good though, even if he's a bit
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. He's only a little bit older, and for a Kenku that means there's a few positives and negatives.
Because they live for like nothing.
They basically live for nothing.
What is it, like 40, 60 years or something?
60. 60, along with most short races. And as I
mean-
found out, goblins do not have a short lifespan.
Oh.
Goblins can live for up to 180 years, but they usually die before 20 because they get killed by other people.
Oh, that's
That's
really
horrible.
bad.
I thought they lived up to 50.
That's what I thought as well until I
Apparently
looked them up, and then I corrected you saying it was 180, but they
Does
usually
that mean
die.
Noblin's going to be around for far too long?
Yes.
Motherfucker. Okay.
Faint death. Anyway.
Yeah, you know what? They cultivate the idea that they only live for 50 years, so that when people see an old one, they're just like, well, it's gonna die soon anyway, and they're just like,
I got another 30 years on me. So you're 20 years old? Yes, of course. 120.
Thought they were gone. Right. Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to our tavern.
Thank you.
Our tavern?
It's good to be here.
Well, first things first, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the nitty-gritty.
I've come from the Fractured Belt, along with a group of other refugee individuals. We came from Oregon originally. Our journey took us from Fractured Belt to Oregon, and then from Oregon to here. I'm simply looking for work to keep myself afloat, but I also heard that this was a pretty good place, so I came here.
Oh well, I'm glad people are saying this is a good place, but we're just a fairly normal tavern. Blasting people open with death magic.
Malcom.
Giant monkeys.
Malcom.
Yes.
Are you proficient in insight?
I am.
Am I proficient in insight? No, I'm not.
Okay.
But
Neither
I
of
do
you-
have a +5.
Okay. Neither of you pick up on it.
Oh dear.
I'd say there's
Right.
something not quite. You pick up on there's not something not quite right with what he just said, but it's not enough
Yeah.
to call him out on it.
I'm proficient in insight.
Yeah,
No,
your wisdom's not high enough.
Okay.
The reason
I
I
mean-
asked,
Sure, my wisdom's really high, Chris.
I know your wisdom's high, and I know you have proficiency, so that sets your passive to 18. But Sudz has a 20 in his wisdom. If he
Oof.
had proficiency, that would have put it over the edge to what he needed.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't pick wisdom stuff as my proficiencies. So
Right. In that case, didn't we have someone else who came from the Fractured Belt?
Yes, that would be Maze.
Oh, he came from the Fractured Belt. I don't suppose you know a Maze. I say whatever their last name was. Maze Kelm.
Helen?
I don't. I'm afraid.
Oh, she's a new hire. She came from the Fractured Belt as well.
What
Small world, you know.
May I ask what she is?
Tabaxi?
That would be why. We tend to keep
Yeah.
ourselves separated. Birds and cats don't really get on.
Oh, is that really a thing? Oh dear.
It's
Oh,
not
oh
too
dear.
big, but there's in the Fractured Belt there are several kingdoms, and Kenku and Tabaxi just happen to be on opposite sides.
Right.
I can't imagine it would be an issue here because we're far from home. But if anything
Okay,
does occur,
alright.
I'll be sure to
Now,
Keep
I
my distance.
understand you were previously an architect, or are still an architect.
I'm
or,
still an architect. I'm just currently looking for work because there's not
Hmm.
really much old history here that I know
Hmm.
of. There are several old ruins, but most of them are either infested or been dealt with. There's not much.
Don't worry. Well, we're sort of doing the dealing with things, but anyways, yes, yeah. Tell me a little bit about your any sort of experience that might be applicable. Here, I understand that you're well, you seem certainly quite sure of yourself and quite well balanced, and you seem to be moving quite well, which is always a plus when you're going to be on your feet for a while, especially in a crowded tavern. Tell me a little bit about that.
From where we come from in the Fractured Belt, I've been brought up in the way of acrobatics. I know my way around keeping myself away from other objects and making sure that objects I'm carrying do not move in the slightest. And we've also been brought up in a way of politeness from more of a noble house.
What I can't get over is he says he needs to keep himself afloat, but he's wearing gold and cobalt jewelry, and
Float.
I mean, I don't understand why he came here. If he said he went from the Fractured Belt to Oregon and then Oregon to here.
no, he did say that.
I don't understand why he came here from Oregon. Oregon's much bigger.
Refugee.
Right. But the real question is why, like, by the way, don't they accept refugees in Oregon, or
They
is it
do,
like
but they need to spread out the refugee. There's been a large impulse since the war took on. The Fractured Belt was hit hard. Fortunately, we weren't part of the war, but quite a lot of us were hit after the Alliance required more soldiers.
I am terribly sorry to hear that. Haven't been paying much attention at the moment. We're dealing with the tragedy that happened in the city previously and being caught up with work at the moment. Anyways.
That's one of the reasons why they're sending quite a lot of us here. It was previously hit, so it shouldn't be a huge target right now.
That's fair enough. Well, in just a moment we'll get on with having you do some trial runs of serving drinks and picking up dirty dishes and the like. But do you mind if I ask who actually recommended us? You said someone said this was a good place.
Yes, I was just looking for work and the job seekers, and there was a place open here, and the clerk behind the desk said it was a good place to go.
Do we know anyone in that place?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna look over. I'm just gonna look over at Zuvan and be like,
Wait, I can?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to see if that's true about what he said?
That's with a +5.
Okay. He's not telling the whole truth. There's something he's trying to hide.
I inform Sasha.
How does one inform Sasha?
He lies.
Because talking in Draconic no longer works with tongues active.
because of tongues, yeah. I'm just gonna look over at
And you
Zuvan
no longer
and
have
Malcom.
Elsyan for sneaky telepathy.
Damn it, Elsyan.
Damn it, you
Remind me to kick Elsyan's ass.
Yes.
You probably could.
I probably could.
I think anyone in this party probably could. Like maybe not Queglod, but that's only if you don't get me. That's only if you don't get the first hit in. Like, if he, as long as he doesn't kill you in the first round, you could probably fuck him up quick.
Yeah, it possibly depends. Obviously, I don't have the most health, so psychic backlash is a thing. But
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't want to get.
how do you wish to transfer this information to Sasha?
I mean, can I do my own insight check? Because he does say a lot of things that just are a little bit off. To me personally, as a person, not necessarily.
6.
It's got a +6 though. Actually, no, it's got a +8.
+8? No, not quite enough.
Right. Why don't you go over and start the test? We'll basically ask you to pick up some drinks from Zuvan over there, and bring it to us around the place. Everyone, take places around the room, and Penova and that. Would you mind running interference, as it were?
They will be more than happy to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I go and I take my place with Sasha.
I'm assuming you tell me that he said something that wasn't quite accurate there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that after he's done his test thing.
Okay. Going around, he avoids most of what Penova and Vardra do to try and distract him. One of them eventually, I believe it's Vardra who's the monk. This is the problem with making them sisters, you always forget. No, Penova.
Penova is the monk.
Penova gets a little bit impatient, grabs just some mug and just lobs it at him. He catches
this bitch is empty. Yeet.
He catches it and places it down on the table and just looks over and just keeps walking around with the drinks. He moves fluidly and he moves effectively. As he places each of them on the table, he comes over to Sasha and Malcom and places the 2 drinks on your table.
Oh.
You say anything?
Good work. You can stop for the moment. Come, sit with us. So,
Takes a seat.
Anything more that
2 seconds just in case, but fuck BT.
Fuck BT. Everybody wants to fuck BT.
It's true.
Yeah. I have a pack of hula hoops. I'm not sponsored, but I like hula hoops.
For me, I've got some mini cheddars.
Nice.
Just regular cheesies?
Had a tin.
Actually, no, Red Leicester.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Them the best.
Yeah. Tangy, I like it. Anyways.
I like the smoked cheese ones, but I just have
no, that is those are good.
Before we continue, I'd like to connect first because
That's fine.
I want to be able to hear what's going on.
Okay.
And good.
You're muted, Chris.
I know, I was eating hula hoops.
Hula hoop, hula hoopoo.
Crabby ASMR. We eat hula hoops.
Crunch.
So, as you confront him, you ask him to sit down. He does so.
Right. Well, you've done fantastically well. There is. We'd love to hire you. There is one small issue. Malcom?
I get the very strong feeling you're trying to hide something from us. And in order for us to hire you, we'd like to know what it is.
He bows his
Very
head.
diplomatic.
Bows his head slightly, realizing that the G is up.
Oh, he was dancing as well.
And he goes very quiet, and his posture changes.
I'd like to make it very clear that I'm wearing my armor, by the way.
Oh, I know.
I have my axe.
You're all prepared. He knows the situation he's in. And you watch as he begins to mull over his options.
Put it simply, we're not going to get angry at you if you tell us the truth. Doesn't matter what it is. As long as you're not, going to murder us, we're not exactly going to be bothered. Even then, we can try to talk it out. But we would like the truth.
I didn't come here seeking a job.
Right.
I came here seeking protection.
Protection from who? Or from what?
He draws his short sword and places it on the table.
I like to think there was that moment of just like everyone reaches for their weapons when he pulls his, and then,
And then he places it on the table.
Do I notice anything about it, or what's the...
The design on the curved blade is a very beautiful shining steel with what looks to be a jade dragon reaching through it. You can see along the edge of the blade it is ever so slightly tinted of a very well made and cut and hardened dark steel edge. The handle of the blade is short and simple for a short sword. The handle of it is perfect, almost as if newly made.
An impressive sword. I'm afraid I don't know if it has any significance.
Yeah, I will be activating detect magic just in case.
This thing reeks in dark magic.
Oh.
I cast identify on it.
Okay. I'd like you to make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Ah,
That went on. Oh yeah, that's right. You haven't joined the server since then. Only press R twice because otherwise it goes on a roller coaster.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They changed the power of the R function. No, it's still technically a roll because it did do the roll thing, but it's just a matter of only press it twice because otherwise it does that super spin thing. And it's
I
weird.
did not know.
Yeah, so that is a fail.
Me. Yeah.
You take 9 points of necrotic damage as you cast Identify, and you feel a dark presence shoot through your mind, icy cold. As your hand lurches back, the Identify spell fizzles and fades. As you think over, you get a sense, almost like a drawing of this power is formidable.
Okay.
Where did it come from?
What is
Go.
it? Where did it come from? Cotton-eyed Lien, or whatever his name is.
Lang.
Like,
Okay, what is it?
What is it?
It's an artifact I found.
Hmm.
It's stuck with me. I've learned to live with its power, but the problem is its value. Take it you didn't succeed on finding out what this thing does?
Take that as a no.
Try.
No.
I will tell you its name. It's called Riftmaker. Has the ability to carve itself into other planes of existence.
Oh.
Oh.
I know.
But it comes with a catch.
Yes, of course. We definitely didn't go. There.
It often kills anybody going through it who doesn't wield the blade.
Right. So, you wanted to come here because we're the
people
Dawn
are looking
Marshals?
for it. You're the Dawn Marshals, the strongest heroes I know of in this current day and age. If I could get a job here, I'd be under, frankly, free protection that I need.
Look, as long as if you don't need the job here to get free protection, you just need to ask. I don't appreciate the fact you lied to us, but
Don't trust Kengus.
okay. Have you seen our stuff?
Yes.
Look, we're not racists. The only one who might be is gone for a vacation, and he doesn't have any power here.
I mean, he listens to me.
Exactly. We've got a literal prince over here. We probably shouldn't tell you that if you're lying to us, but you know, you told the truth. So you put you on probation there. Look, we aren't going to judge you, and frankly, a dangerous artifact like that, we're happy to help you protect it. Have you thought of taking it to the Church of Steel or to the Academy to have it be looked over or destroyed?
I've tried everywhere.
That's
why I was in Oregon originally.
Mm.
I tried some of their strongest clerics there, and the High Templar couldn't do anything about it. They wanted to lock it up for good. They took it from me. I was glad to give it away, but
then it came back. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Rook, the sounding familiar to you?
Yeah. Very much so.
Actually, we might be. Rook,
I might be able to take it off your hands.
Rook, would you like to try a couple of things? We actually might be able to either get rid of this or transfer its power into something else, so that you wouldn't have to carry it anymore.
Okay, this could go badly. Right.
It goes super bad.
What happens if someone else wields it?
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to the blade and put my axe
No,
against it.
wait.
No,
Hold on a second.
not yet.
What happens if someone else wields it?
Anybody can wield it. But it's attached to me. It's once they own it for a while that's the problem. People die in grievous ways.
Rook, how are you feeling about doing your shtick with it?
There was one individual, a paladin from the Order in Oregon. He said he'd take it off my hands and seal it away. I saw him a couple of days later carrying it at his side. Something had happened. Next thing I know, he's strung up in the street, limbs torn apart.
We've got major knit for that.
Strapped to doorposts by nails and string. Blade was lying there on the ground. I fled, and it came back to me.
Quick question, Chris.
Mhm.
I've already cast Hallow on this place.
Uh-huh.
Was this thing able to enter?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't protect against curse blades.
Okay, just wanted to make sure of that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've had any number of remove curse spells used on it.
Indeed.
Right.
And
Rook, how do you feel about trying? As either way, you're not going to be owning the blade so much as you'll be interfering with the enchantment.
I'll give it a shot.
Also, we've got.
Okay with
Also,
this?
we can also, if it's all right with you, like if this does fuck up, we can try and give it back to you if it's the only way to keep it safe. But I would really rather try and get rid of this thing, but I don't know how we'd go about doing that.
Its power is really good, though.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. I think. Okay, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong here. It does kind of sound like Astral Edge, doesn't it?
In a way, its enchantment, the nature of the curse seems to be that it is bound to one user.
Mm-hmm.
The nature of the curse is unidentifiable and it strikes out at the person, very similar to Astral Edge. The only difference is Astral Edge's enchantment is more of a, I guess you could say more of like an amiibo, because of the way it absorbs stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this seems to be more of a static, it does one thing, but it lashes out violently when not taken seriously.
Okay, so if someone else takes it off his hands and uses its ability, then gives it back.
We don't know what the backlash there is.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever tried that? Taking it and then handing it back?
Well, can't
Obviously.
use... One person stole it from me originally.
Mm-hmm.
Member of a raiding group. They found me shortly after I entered the ruins. They took the blade. They took everything I found. Next thing I know, I have the blade in my possession, and they're after me.
Also, I just realized when you said architect earlier, you definitely meant archaeologist, right?
Yes, I do, and I've just realised
Oh.
that.
Yeah, thank God. I was like, took me a while to realize. Then I was like, oh, like you said that there, and I was like, oh, everything makes sense now.
Yes.
I was confused.
Yeah, no, it is archaeologist. That was just. Yeah, no. Thank you for correcting me on that. I didn't realise.
Okay. No, nor did I for a while. I just thought, oh, he makes buildings. Cool.
He searches buildings. What? Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so they took it back. They took it from you, and
I found that they were chasing me, and I had the blade on my persons. I don't know. That's why I mean, if I can, I'm trying to find a way to deal with the blade.
I could make some lava if you like.
Should we have
dropping it in lava?
Looking at it doesn't matter. I'm finding trails. I just need time.
I mean, someone who's really specialized in, magic stuff, also known as Abor.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest. Okay, who wants to go get him?
I'll get him.
Okay, go, Malcom. Go get Abbott. Look, we've got a specialist here. He might be able to give us something at least.
I go and fetch Abbott.
Okay.
In the meantime, Rook, do you want to try your thing?
Let's see what Abord says first.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Abord, you beautiful NPC. Natural 20 on this save.
Okay, I was about to say, he either rolled a 1 or a 20. Like, one of those is happening.
Yeah, it was a natural 20 on his save.
I love Abbott so much.
He goes up and he casts Identify on the blade. As he does so, you hear what sounds to be the twisting or screaming of metal as he forcefully identifies this thing. He takes his hand back, and you can see that the entirety from the tips of his fingers all the way down to his elbow is shredded skin and blood.
Oh shit!
Instantly gonna heal that.
Yeah, that was dangerous. Notably, I don't think simulacrums can be healed.
Oh,
don't worry, I've got life transference.
Don't think that works.
Technically, it isn't healing magic. It's the transference of life energy.
I'll check later. If he can, then we'll say he's back at full HP. If not, then we'll deal with that later.
We're going to just kill that one and make another.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
Healers. We've a new healer branch now.
Okay, so
he looks at it. He looks at you, Rook.
It's another one, isn't it?
It's similar. The way this thing has been made is very similar.
Corrupted item, then.
Not recommend taking this off of him or absorbing its power yet.
I think perhaps if we purified Astral Edge, we might be able to use it to...
No. Astral Edge needs to become stronger.
Right.
Once it can destroy this blade and take its power.
Without the side effects?
Side effect comes with the blade. Benefit can be stolen. You've already learnt that from looking at Astral Edge. It stole your torch, but it didn't steal the rest of it. It steals what it wants, not what it needs. Or not what it can, rather. This puts it at a massive advantage. If you can make Astral Edge stronger, that will run this blade into the ground.
Astral Edge takes what makes it stronger, doesn't it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Has it ever what's it made out? What is it physically made out of? It's like Titan. Oh, it was like the meteorite stuff.
Yeah, meteorite.
Meteorite. Well, I was hoping to use this myself, but Queglod, do you still have some of those dragon scales?
I have some.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had them.
I have.
You did. Well, did you have them?
He has them in the bag of holding. You identified them, but then you didn't do anything with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just have them in the bag of holding.
Right. I don't know if it will take them, but it might. But dragon scales are powerful, at least magically. Obviously, meteorites is similarly powerful, if not more powerful, but also it has different aspects to it. I think, is that right, Chris? I can't remember what exactly its power level was when we talked about it.
What, dragon scales?
Dragon scales versus meteorite dust stuff.
Meteorite dust is rare, but it's very unworkable.
So it's not very well known about.
So it's not very. There are very few techniques on how to use it, and that is why typically it's not a very good source to use. It's of more value to mages than it is to.
Chris is back.
Back again.
Yep, there you go.
Fuck BT.
Fuck
BT.
Don't seem as mad as I thought you'd be.
What did you say, Infernal?
He doesn't. I don't seem as mad as I should be.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's fine. Just in the middle of a potential plot point. It's fine. Alright, server's back up.
So yes, we've got this guy, and we now know what that we need to power up Astral Edge to be able to do things. Because let's be honest, its downside is that only Rook can really wield it.
Yeah,
Or
sorry,
we
I had to
can-
go sort the dog out.
Yeah, its
so, like-
downside is that Rook can only really wield it.
This one's downside is that it's a murder blade.
True.
Doesn't sound like much of a downside to me.
Because like, hey,
Have you tried
hey,
giving it to
hey.
someone? I have. Oh, so you mean we can take this blade and give it to someone and kill them? Perfect.
Could we perhaps offer it as a gift to someone we really don't like?
What about Elsyan?
My
I'll be
God.
honest. Part of me was gonna say if Malcolm's aunt turns on us, just like we offer a peace offering, this sword.
Why? No.
I said if she turns on us.
Yes, kill the Queen of the Barren Lands, then watch everybody rally behind her dead corpse.
Hey, they've got no proof it was us.
Except
Apart
the
from
sword
the
that we
fact
gave
it was
her.
definitely us.
No.
So, you've got Lang in front of you. He seems very defeated in the fact that he just wanted protection to be here.
I mean,
Lang.
You
Who's
also,
going after him?
I'm gonna say with your insight, because I'm gonna be giving you advantage, so your passive would be like 22 or something. You do notice a few things while you're talking. One, he doesn't want the blade to be destroyed. It seems he still wants it for sellable value, but he can't get rid of it without people dying, and he doesn't like that. So he just wants the curse removed. So the idea that Astral Edge can eventually remove the curse off of it is very happy for him. But at the same time, he also knows that this blade is exceedingly valuable, and he does want to
Sell it.
He does want to sell it, but at the same time, he also knows that people will try and steal it.
Right. I mean, I will say this. Let it be known that anyone who steals it will mysteriously die and no one's going to steal it from you. The issue then is selling it.
The issue
I'm
is
wondering
also-
I'm wondering what's killing.
Yes, okay, I'll be honest. I'm suspecting it's somehow... To be able to do that to someone, it either has to influence others, or it has to form, some form of being itself. Even if that's just telekinetic power or something. I have an intelligence of 9. I can definitely know the word telekinetic and make wild assumptions like this.
You've spent enough time around Elsyan, it's fine.
Yeah.
The group intelligence went up by 1 while Elsyan was around. Not physically in stat, but in understanding. As he never used it.
Okay. Look.
Well, you make
First
your
things
decision
first.
about this. I'm gonna go play with the cube.
All right. I hand over the cube, but I want it back when you're done. All right.
Yes, Mom.
You're damn right you do. Right. Okay. Okay. We are happy to provide protection for you. Do you actually need money, or would you be okay getting a different job somewhere else? Because
I can help out, but I won't need money to survive.
I mean, we're happy to still pay you. It's just a matter of like.
Well, we have. We can't hire them without paying.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I would have been able to get the
Dryad. Dryad.
No, you still
What?
have to pay for the drive.
I'm paying for the Dryad. I had to pay for the Dryad.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dryad, but she's an artisan expert. She's getting 10 rather than 25, because 10 is the license. 15 is her pay. So, you know how I said about the tax income that you're going to be getting soon?
Mm-hmm.
That is basically an effect of it is reduced by your license value. So the more licenses you have, the more it takes away from your overall your total income tax. Think of it like, okay, we're going to take 10% of what you earn, but before we take away that 10%, we're going to take away or we're going to give back the snippets for the licenses because you've upheld them.
Okay.
However, if it would get to a point where we're giving more than we're taking, we won't give you any more.
That's fair. Look, we're happy to provide protection. You can literally just get a room in the tavern, and we'll call that a day. You can find a better paying job than being a bar hand. You're an archaeologist. You no doubt have information. You could probably talk to the academy about getting a decent job there. You know about old shit, no offense. There are much better options for you. We are happy to help. That is what I'm saying here.
Okay.
Now,
I'll take you up on that offer if that's what you're offering, but if you wanted help around tavern, I can help.
we're still going to deliberate on the other ones, but this is even if you don't get the job, you're still under our protection.
Okay.
Understood?
Understood.
Good.
Thank you.
We have a few possibilities for getting the curse out of that blade. It might not be able to be immediate, but there are possibilities. If you keep searching for other options, that's good as well. But you can trust us. In future, just tell us things. You never have to lie to us. We're literally supposed to be the good guys. Come on.
Supposed to be the good guys. I love them.
Look, we're good guys in training. We aren't really we're trying.
You're training.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? What was that, mister? I'm going to leave you all for a dragon for 6 months or something?
I mean...
Look, you don't know what he's into.
And that was his
Fucking
training.
Scalies.
Chris.
That's how sorcerers are made. I swear.
It is.
Oh, God.
It actually is.
Oh my god. Wow.
Anyway.
Oh, God.
That's gonna haunt me for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Okay, Sudz, you've got to remember this. It may be a long time till this happens. If Liam ever becomes a Dragonborn, we've got to add Dragon Daddy to his list.
Yes.
Kill the vampire and reincarnate him.
Please allow me to learn reincarnate so we can just kill him multiple
I
times till we
think you
get
could
that.
just learn reincarnate as a cleric.
I don't No.
It's a druid spell, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a druid spell. Oh, we can work on it. Anyway. So yes,
What level
So-
spell is it? I want to say 6th.
5th or 6th. I think it's 5th.
It's 5th.
It's 5th. It is 5th. Yes, reincarnate. It is. Okay, it's not loading, but it's
So-
something.
Zuvan or one of the other guards takes him to his room.
Yeah, only druids. Right.
Are you okay with that?
I'm gonna have Zuvan because he's less intimidating and more like.
Yeah.
Zuvan takes it to his room. After he leaves and he begins heading upstairs, Abod says, "Now for the rest of what it does.
Oh,
I had a
oh,
The
okay.
blade-
Ah.
The blade can only be wielded by a Kenku. Hence why it works.
Hmm.
That is one of the conditions. Second
Right.
of all, it does kill them. However, it does not kill them. Something
I
else
kn-
does.
It
I knew
summoning
it.
something else then?
Yes. Which means, while this place is hallowed, I suspect it can't reach the blade.
So.
Which means
Oh.
he's safe so long as he remains here.
Right. Should
I
we
didn't
tell him
want-
that?
Tell him he's safe. Don't tell him about the Kenku. If he gives away
Right.
that blade, you won't get what you need. And
Hmm.
he looks at Astral Edge. That thing can absorb it. If you get the ability to planar travel for that thing, what that thing can do, that'll make moving a lot easier for you and for me. I
Right.
have a stake in this as well.
I think we should tell him that we've set up this area to be, as long as he and the sword are within this area, they're safe.
And
Although
that would be wise.
does that mean we actually have to hire him for something so that he isn't like going to die?
If he's going elsewhere around town, there's the chance he'll get ambushed to and from. And I don't like the idea of him having a personal bodyguard.
I say we hire him for the bar hand position. Then it's our only real option here.
I think
Yeah.
that would be best.
Hmm.
Something else I also thought might be interesting to bring to you.
Mm.
Bern has mentioned that you might be heading to the Darkroot ruins.
Agreed. Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
He's an archaeologist. Might it be worth taking him with you to check the place over for hidden doors or other intricate things, traps and the
Would be...
like?
I'd like to. The real question is, do you think it'll be safe with that item here?
Let's get us
I-
behind. But then again, if it always follows him, then that's not going to be easy.
Well, he didn't say that it necessarily. When he gave it away, it killed whoever had it,
And then
Right.
reappeared to him.
and then came to him. He didn't say that
It's possible that whatever's doing the killing is also bringing him the blade.
It's
Which
possible.
means
It's worth a try. It's worth a try to at least leave it, because as long as he doesn't give it to anyone, it should still come to him without killing anyone. I think. I'll have to ask him.
That would be how it would work, but something else is doing the killing. It seems that the blade is only wieldable by Kenkus and can only be used by them. But it doesn't directly kill them. It has no such command. That is what confused me. Which means
Yeah.
something else is doing it.
Something that is connected to it, or something of an outside source.
I don't know.
If
the
it can-
problem.
If it can cut its way through different planes of existences, then it's probably something in a different plane of existence that's doing it.
That's the case, this place should be fine.
Yes,
for safe
as long as
precautions,
Hallow is
I-
applied.
For safe precaution, I can make sure that there's an aura up on this place, making sure that no teleportation travel will go in or out. It will mean that your teleportation circle will be offline for a while, unless you send me ascending. But
We can send ascending. We can add that, and that's fine. I'd much prefer that we. I'd much prefer that we kept this thing as safe as possible rather than had to deal with anything terrible. Abod, if something does happen here with ascending, would you be able to inform us immediately so that we could teleport back?
yes, of course.
Right. even though I obviously we want this thing to be as safe as possible, but I'd feel better if I knew that we'd be able to get back quickly, and just in case something goes wrong. My Hallow is...
If
my
anyone's
Hallow
going
can...
to die from it, I will. I was the one who identified it, but I am also a simulacrum, which means that I am disposable. In a sense.
Also, like, frankly, like, proper, not proper Abbot. I mean, you are technically Abbot. The original Abbot.
If the original Abbot gets taken down, then that means whatever you're fighting is beyond your league. At which point I recommend kicking him out.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, exactly. The original Abbot is pretty fucking impressive. So if anything were to happen, then
I'd let you know.
I very much doubt anything could take out Abbot, but take precautions is all I'm saying.
I will.
Also, I'm sorry, it's just such a weird thing to get your head around that there's like 3 of you running around about the place. Wait, is it 2 or 3 at the moment?
3.
I think it's 3. Right.
Myself, the shopkeeper, and Original. Yes. I don't know if he plans to make any more. If he does, then I'll be making a new one. I'll be making my own replacement.
Do you all like have each other's memories, or is it like a sort of you're all separate and then there's a hive mind? Or
we're all separate, and we have the memories of when we're created.
Okay. I mean, can I just say, I really hope you don't die. I like all of the Abbots. You're all Abbots.
I appreciate that. I'll leave you to get back to your hiring.
Okay.
As he heads back to the Mage Tower.
So we have to hire Edgy McCurse Lord.
Leng Twen.
Right. I'm going to go inform him that as long as he stays within this premise, then as far as we're concerned, he should be safe from like the things murdering and everything. But I'm going to double check with Abbot how long it'll take to get that interdimensional interference running.
He can set it up the moment he gets back. Just takes a ritual of 10 minutes.
Cool. Right. As much as I would have liked to hire the Tiefling, whose name I've forgotten, Arara, something.
The Arroya.
As much as I'd like to hire Arroya,
I think these circumstances have to take precedent.
I'm just saying, if anyone can think of a job for her or for the orc, whose name again I've forgotten. Sorry, this is kind of like taken over my brain thoughts here.
It was Arroya, and there was Monk.
Right.
Monk
if anyone else can think of any jobs for Monk or Arroya, those would be good, because I thought they were both fairly competent people. But in the meantime, just let them know that they're always welcome around the place, and we'll put in a good word, and we'll give them a good reference if they need it.
Zuven kind of goes, he could work as our caravanman. If we're making shipments to and from, then it would be good to make a good amount of shipments from the local area. You'd be able to go around and pick up the due, and would mean that it would free up the supplies. It would mean that we'd be paying less for the caravan, and we'd be paying him instead. Also means if we have any export ideas, the recent artisans we've acquired, it means we can do deliveries.
Right.
He's got the memory for it, so he's more than capable of being smart, and he's got the muscle for it to lift anything.
Right. Do we have anyone on hand who's a decent teacher for common, just in case that becomes an issue? Even if it's just being able to write it.
I can try. Otherwise, you're
actually. You know what? We'll get Lisa to do it. She's literally taught people to read and write.
That's fair.
I
That can
think
work.
teaching a child is a little different to teaching an adult.
You'd be surprised.
I'd imagine it'd be easier,
Perhaps.
honestly, to teach an adult.
It's
I wouldn't have
complicated.
thought so,
There are
but-
differences, but it is similar in some cases. I'd say if you're going to go with anybody, it might be best to go with Tredor.
Oh,
He knows 6 languages. He's quite good on the chopping block when it comes to speaking.
All right. I did not know that actually.
He impressed us during our time. He knows quite a lot. Yeah, he's been places.
Sorry, I am back.
If he happens to speak Orcish, that would certainly be helpful.
I know he speaks Common, Goblin, Dwarfish, Elvish, Infernal, and I think Draconic.
Who is this?
I think
I
those
think-
are the 6 languages he speaks, but in terms of Orcish, we do already have an Orcish.
Of course. We have Samantha.
You have Samantha, so she'll be able to translate anything, and he'll be able to teach Common. Or Samantha
they're
could
all-
teach, depending on how Samantha would work. They'd probably
Right.
want a little extra pay for the things they're doing, but I can organize that
what-
if need be.
Well, yes. If you need to take any money out of my account, you have my permission if need be. Like obviously to like a maximum of 100 GP, but
Oh, I don't think it'll cost that much.
I doubt it
Teaching's
will,
about
but
3 GP an hour, and it'll probably take us, seeing as he knows the basics, probably maybe a couple of weeks. Doing an
Right,
hour a
Yes,
day.
really what I
so
think we need is someone to practice with him.
He'll pick it up. There we have a lot
Yes,
of
exactly.
thick accents here, but we should be fine.
he'll get some sort of accent out of it, but it'll be funny. Anyways, so I will talk. Okay, Queglod, can you talk to him about that? You've got a way with words, and also our charisma-filled bastard isn't here. So,
What, Elsyan?
no, I was calling that Ghaakt. Elsyan doesn't have charisma.
He has 8 charisma, leave him alone.
I'm more charismatic than Elsyan.
Okay, so you're going to move Monk to Caravan.
If he's all right with that,
He's more than happy with the job. He's just happy to have one.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna basically say sorry that we can't have that we asked for a different position for you. It's just that we ended up with different. Something came up that meant we.
He does say that he's happier with this job.
Right. Oh, as long as it's
Because-
good for you.
Yeah, he's happier with doing the being a caravaneer because he understands how caravans work, moving cattle and that kind of thing. So if anything, this is more his line of work.
Right.
It's just a matter of he filled in a form that he had to and put it in a box and he didn't know where it was going.
Okay.
So just being given a job is fine for him.
I like Monk. He is part of our staff, so he is part of our staff, and therefore he can use the staff room. He can come in for drinks and stuff as he likes. I want him to be around because I think he's going to be quite an interesting character.
That's fair. Alright, Caravaneer takes 8 GP a week. However, he will be able to do deliveries, which will expand your shopping potential.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you are aware, your bar hand that you hired, where is he? Have I gone past him? I think I
I mean, one of them was Lang, and
Lang...
the other one was
Braze.
yes.
Yes, Braze Lonk. Yes, he is for all intents and purposes, he is a bar hand, but he also, Rahal specifies that he is trained in combat. If things got very nasty in the tavern, he will fight.
Okay, that's good.
Bounty hunter wise, he prefers using his hands,
As typical monk.
as typical monk.
I'm good with that. Right.
I'm gonna. Do you mind if I do the talk with Lang about like what we've come up with
Sure.
so far?
Yeah.
He's
go
he's
ahead.
currently sat in his room. He just seems to be sat there. He seems
Right.
to have put a small pack to one side, and he's just sat there, and he's kind of taken his. He's still got his blade attached to his side, but he just seems to be sat there, kind of staring at the floor.
Okay, I knock in. I knock.
Oh, it's you.
Hello. Well, you're in luck. You've been hired for the bar hand position.
Oh,
So,
okay. If it's not too much trouble.
No, not at all. You were very competent. We're glad to have you. We've set up something so that now, as long as you and the blade remain within this establishment, nothing bad should be able to happen. We've got no guarantee. We've got no. It's not a perfect guarantee, but 99% sure.
I see. That's good.
We were going to take a visit to Oromanker, down into the Dark Reap ruins in Oromant Ravine. We wanted to see if you'd be willing to come with us. Now, part of this is we want to test whether you can leave the sword here and travel on your own, if you wish. But I understand if you don't want to. But well, we can do whatever.
Where would you be heading in Oromzanka?
We'd probably find a tavern there to spend the night, and then head to spend our nights, and then head down into the ravine for a day or two, and then come back out.
You watch as he reaches into his bag, and he goes over to a side table, and he rolls out this huge map. You guys sense this is probably some kind of bag of holding of some kind.
Okay then.
Yeah. Yeah. Queglod, you didn't pick up on the bag of holding before.
Huh.
Probably because it was being shrouded in the sinister magic.
Yeah, probably.
As he kind of unfurls the map, you can see that there are several marks on the map, which seem to be ruins that he's marked out.
If you'd like a replacement sword for whilst you're going there, that's fine.
I'd prefer not to fight. I just keep the blade for intimidation and because it's what it is.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about you looking after yourself, in case something goes wrong.
I can get myself a short sword quite easily if I need one, but right now I don't really need to defend myself.
Okay, I meant if you came along with us. If not, that's fine as well. But yes, whilst in the city, it's probably best if you stay for the most part in the tavern. But if we end up being able to leave the sword here without any of its magical effects occurring, then that would be then you might be able to, live actually go out and enjoy yourself rather than constantly having that thing around and being worried about its unfortunate properties. Tell me,
Right.
you said it comes back to you, yes?
Yes. I wake up with it and it's just there.
Have you ever gone back to where you left it, and were there any deaths there previously, or?
I've never gone back.
Right.
I don't know what happens for the majority of these. I just move on, because if I go back, I'm afraid I'll get arrested, and if that happens, there'll be plenty of deaths, and I'll be put to death. I have no idea what will happen with the blade after that.
Well, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. You're with us now, and no matter, we might be experimenting at the moment, but everything should be fine. Also, we do have I'm very hard to kill. Abod, can die and come back. We're pretty fine. Really. I'm pretty sure Angus might be a god in human form. Or armored form, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you don't...
Yeah, only you know, you weirdo.
Squares.
He's made of squares.
Yes. Duh,
Wait.
he's a square god.
What?
Yes, swear God.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Now,
Okay.
is there anything you know about the history of this sword?
No. I know
I'm
nothing
assuming
about
you
it.
picked it up from a ruins at some point then.
I did. I went to investigate the ruins. I dungeon delved quite a lot, and I found the blade in the centerpiece, and I couldn't find any traps, and I took it.
Do you mind if I ask where that was?
He takes out a map of the fractured belt and points to a portion of it.
Where's Rook from?
Rook's from the Barren Lands.
Yeah. Same
I'm
as
just
me.
gonna mark down. I'm just gonna like take a mental note of that position and the position of the other of where Rook said that they, wherever they first found Astral Edge.
They never did.
Oh, it just appeared someday. Okay.
No, his ancestors made it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Minotaurs make that?
Long time ago.
Oh no. I smell a Pheromar.
What do you mean? Don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, where's he from again?
Barren Lands.
No, not him. The Kanku.
Oh, fractured belt. It's not on the map.
Yeah.
It's just really.
It's okay. If you look, you're looking at this map, right, Sudz?
Yeah.
It's here.
Okay, off in that direction somewhere.
Yeah, all the way down there. It's a large stretch of floating islands that are all broken up. Think Avatar.
Isn't that where?
Not Last
Isn't
Airbender.
that where?
The blue people.
Isn't that where Ghaakt came from?
No, Ghaakt came from the archipelago. That's different.
Look, it sounded the same, so.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. There are a series of floating islands in my world, so it's understandable you got lost. Anyway. But yes, he's happy to come along with you on the archaeological adventure, and he will purchase his own short sword to use at some point, but he won't use it. He will hide in most encounters.
Okay, as long as he's like going
sensible.
yeah, I'm happy for him to hide. I just want to make sure he has something to use just in case.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tell him to just stay behind me. It's fine.
But yeah, he'll be
Question, Queglod, are you good with taking Major Knit at 5th level?
Who?
Queglod can take Major Knit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
I guess so.
Just cause, like, it can regrow limbs, and I feel like we might need that if this thing is gonna be around the place. I'm also obviously gonna be taking it where I can, but, like, I do need to keep slots open for some other
Regrow
weird
limbs
shit.
isn't the main point. The main point is that you can just reuse hit die on your bonus actions.
Oh yeah, that's true as well, but also, like, 60-10 plus spell ability modifier, and you regrow limbs.
Yeah.
No offense, but if I lose a limb, I want it back.
No, you're not allowed. That limb's gone forever. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd have to pick up the components, but that's fine.
You would.
I mean, it's needle and golden thread. We need to, like, grab some of those.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can just make some golden thread, I think.
It's worth 100 GP, so yeah, you could use your artisan's law to
Yeah,
make
I can
the
ask
thread.
them.
Although then again, no, you wouldn't, because you'd need the weaver's proficiency. Because it's thread, even though it's made of gold.
Okay, well, I can make it. Technically, it says needle and golden thread worth 100 GP. Technically, I could just make a really fancy needle and a tiny bit of golden thread.
That's not how that works, but sure.
It was worth a try, Chris. Look, I'm going by its wording. Technically. Yes, so...
Yes. So, you've hired your peeps,
that we have.
got yourselves all of that. I believe that's everything. I'm just going to deal with the, the income of the tavern. Up it to week 14. And alter your income tax. Set the formula
Oh
for that
no.
too. Okay.
How much money are we losing now?
Probably not that much.
We do keep up to date with our licensing.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. I got some maths to do there. Anyway, but I think I'll end the session there.
Yeah.
So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for all the interrupts. That's BT's fault because they're an arse service. Don't trust any of them. They're terrible. Also, Jamie, you may have been muted this entire time. I was going to warn you earlier, but I chose not to. Or he's just not here. Okay,
Yeah. Sorry,
that's fine. Alright,
I
well,
didn't realise.
that's fine. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time where they will probably be adventuring towards Orum's Anchor. Bye-bye.